collective enjoyment, I have made a PowerPoint. Now, I said this on Discord yesterday. I said I made a PowerPoint to share with you all, and this immediately led a fine chatter named George to put a long discursus in the Discord on the topic of what makes a good PowerPoint presentation. You must understand that I threw together this PowerPoint presentation in just a couple hours. It's like 40 slides long, and there's no way it's well put together. This is not like, consider now the piece of artwork on the screen. What comes to your mind when you see that? You'd think so, but you'd be wrong. It's not that even a little bit. It is black backgrounds with white text, and I added in so very, very, very few little graphics here and there. Some things which should be multiple slides are just a giant pile of slides or giant pile of text. It's a disaster. But there will be some fun moments. We'll talk about some of the greatest hits of the past year. We'll give you some data, some behind the scenes action, including things I've never shared before. And we'll talk about 2025. We'll talk about what's happening in the year ahead. Once that's done, we will also share with you a little video game called Total War Warhammer 3. I thought about starting a different game today. I thought about starting the Kenji playthrough, but I think that will wait till next week. Because man, every time I go back to the Warhammer I so badly want to play more and more and more forever without ever quite stopping. So today we'll probably do Bretonia Start, which I've never done. Today we'll probably consider doing the Ratman Start, which again I've never done, but yeah, should be a good time through and through, or at least that's my hope. We'll see. I've never done this end of the year thing before, so that is a bit of a nerve-wracking experience too. I will mention here and then again later that the idea of an end-of-year wrap-up was stolen from friend of the channel, Cringer. Every end of the year, he does a presentation he calls the Cringy Awards. It's like it's a whole Emmy award show or the Oscars or, I don't know, whatever award show you want to talk about. I'm going to let you finish, but that joke only works. Do you remember some years back when Taylor Swift won some like Album of the Year award? She was a new thing, a new person to the pantheon of Grammy greats. And Kanye West, who now lives in Tokyo, Kanye West charged the stage and said, yeah, I'm going to let you finish, but someone is like the greatest album of all time or the greatest artist of all time. Man, what a bit of like narcissistic craziness that was. What a strange moment to insert oneself into the conversation. Does anyone know on whose behalf he was speaking? It was Beyonce. Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. See, I was worried that whatever person he said was the greatest would be someone I wouldn't have even heard of. Where, of course, Taylor Swift has taken over the world. I've recently become a citizen of Taylor Stan, I'm sure. Noms's end of the year Spotify thing showed that her most listened to artist last year, Taylor Swift, a total Swiftie, that Noms. But yeah, Kanye West charged onto the stage and yeah, caused a bit of a scene. Strange time. Like Will Smith charging up against that comedian at the Oscars. I tend not to be one for celebrity drama, but those moments are, I don't know, those moments are something else, aren't they? When like all of the normal assumptions about public decor go out the window and something strange has ruptured. It sure is something. I mentioned though that Kanye West now lives in Tokyo. I've yet to see the man. I think I would notice him in part because of the paucity of people of his skin color. He would really stand out and say, that's a face I've seen before. But I don't know what he's doing in Tokyo. He lives probably only about 10 or 15 minutes away from me, which is a strange thing to think about as someone who has never lived in a place with celebrities around. You don't get much celebrity in a town of 7,000 people except, I don't know, that kid who won this year's Boy Scout Pinewood Derby, I suppose. We should say some hellos, we should talk about this and that, and we should go into a little bit of end of year review. One thing I can't decide on, and you're welcome to offer an opinion, I might even take a vote in a bit, is because today's opening is really a lot of disguised blah, blah, blah. It will be me talking through a slideshow with your input, and we'll digress, we'll talk with it. Like, should we get right into that? Or should we do our normal, every single day we talk for an hour, then we play games, and then we get to the main event, right? Today's main event is just more talking. So should we have a normal intro or get right into the end of the year? That is the question to you. I'm probably leaning in the direction of let's just do normal. No, that's not true. Let's go ahead and do straight into the end of the year slideshow, in part because I want to share it with you. I've done real work. Off stream, the work I often do is just downloading and capturing a new game. This time though, I spent hours, genuinely hours of my day off putting together things for your enjoyment. Friends, good to see you today. Welcome in Marks. Hello, Unnamed Comet. Rog, always there so early. Hello, dogs. Hope you're well. George, is good to see you. What is up, Sakutera? Hello, Axix. History teacher Steve, happy new year. Good to see you. What is up, HPG? Hello, Paul Harvey. Ellisville, welcome in. Tonto, a pleasure. Welcome, Wizards. It's good to see you, Kriya. Klaus, again, thank you for the resubscription. It's good to see you today, Carcinogen and Jim. Welcome in today. Who else we got? Lagerfeld and Cajun Killa. Other Joshua. Johnny Balls, welcome back. Hello to you, Artiste de Bansu. Or just Ari, possibly. Welcome in Semlikin, and if I missed you, I apologize. To you one and all, I say hello, welcome. It's good to see you on this lovely, lovely Monday morning round here. Monday morning. The slideshow will probably go on for 4 hours, so you'd start with that. How do you know me so well? It is true. Anytime I'm going to say, let's talk through this and that, it tends to go on for a very long time. I just don't know how to hold myself to a script unless I have an explicit end time, right? Because when I teach, I have material to get through, and I can stop and comment on this and that. I can offer more context. I can dig deep. I can ask the students questions, but I know I've got to get done in an hour or an hour and a half or however long the class is. And so I am pretty good at restraining myself from that kind of behavior. But when it comes to stream, I am not so good at restraint. We open the mouth, things come out, we hope for the best as always. Cajun Killer asks, did I see the news from today? I tend to read the New York Times every morning before streaming, so probably. If it's the death of Jimmy Carter at age 100, yeah. I mean, as I've said before, I think of him as a good man through and through. Independently of what one thinks of his presidency, obviously someone who gave a lot of energy to democracy, to voting, to thinking about the structure of society, to Habitat for Humanity, and caring for those who have less than they do, caring for those who are having a hard time in the world. I think in this way he presented himself and was like a model Christian, someone who took his faith very, very, very seriously and attempted to show the world what that meant. I think in his presidency also, he tried to do similar. I think generally speaking, he tried very hard to be a president of ideals, a president of values, a president who showed the people what he thought they ought to be. This does not necessarily work terribly well in the contemporary world of realpolitik and of nation states and so on, but he's someone I find inspirational, and I've read all of his books, and I think he's largely right about a lot of things that we can discuss over on the Discord in serious discussion. But yeah, I mean, I met the man once. He was very kind to me for a brief moment, and I have a photo with him I probably should have found to share with you today. But yeah, the big news I've heard is that Jimmy Carter died. I know over the weekend there were also terrible, terrible tragedies in both South Korea and over in Russia, right, of airplanes going down for various reasons. As someone who's already a little bit unhappy flying, definitely these are not like the greatest of things to hear, but as always, we do hear the tragedies and the troubles. The vast majority of airplanes have no problems. Good reasoning demands attention to the giant pile of examples, positive and negative. But yeah, I think those are the big news I've heard. If other people have other bits of news, please do let me know. I'm happy to opine on this and that generally. That's what the stream's all about, right? You present something and I say, here's what comes to mind. And usually it's poorly thought through. Hey, good seeing you, Blue Link. Carcinogen said you posted new cat pictures into the animal chat. Man, I said on Saturday, I really should find a way to engage with the animal and plant pictures you all put up every day. Because I do start the morning each day scrolling through the Discord and smiling at all of your pictures of animals. My first stop of the day, usually. I say good morning to Noms, then as my coffee is heating up, I go ahead and scroll through the cat pictures. So maybe part of the intro each day could be, let's scroll through the cat and dog and plant pictures and see what lovely animals are in the community. Or maybe in the background over my shoulder, we could have an updating reel of all of your animal pictures. Because I do want to not just have them as part of our community on Discord, but also have them as part of our community generally. Because I think one of the best things in the world, as many of you know, is our animals. Like animals make our lives pleasant. They give us moments of companionship and lonely moments, and all pretty good that. Have I ever played or streamed the games Democracy 3 and 4? I have not done so to my knowledge. Now, part of putting together today's slideshow for you all was seeing all of the games I played in the past year, and I've got to tell you, for more than a couple, I don't know what they are. I do not know what the games are. There are moments of profound confusion. Some of them I'm sure were just demos we played for a couple hours, but other ones apparently we played for at least a full stream, and I have absolutely no idea at all what those are. Hey, Farananthus coming in with the tier 2 sub. I was just thinking about you. I was thinking you often disappear from stream for a bit over the holidays, but very good seeing you, and thank you for the tier 2 sub. Returning to the greatest emotes on Twitch, the placeholder emotes. The emotes I made myself. Very excited to share those with you. And fairness, thank you for the generosity, and enjoy spamming up my channel with the placeholder emotes. emotes that are not even worthy of the name. You can see them to the left there. They are the words place and holder, or if you want, plot hole and cedar. Very strange memory of the stream for sure. All right. Other things. Oh, you decided not to fly this year. Oh, you did fly this year and you came home sick. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you get to feeling better soon. Obviously, illness, especially the holidays, is terrible. I hope we can keep you company. But yeah, going on airplanes is always a great way to meet foreign diseases or meet diseases which one didn't grow up. This year we went for a vacation up to Hokkaido, and on the way back, I think Nom picked up some disease. She's still coughing, but I managed to avoid it, actually. Usually we share similar immune systems, and so usually if Nom's unwell, I get unwell. If she's or if I'm unwell, she gets unwell, but this time I'm immune, apparently. I don't know if this is true. You'll have to let me know, those of you who understand the ways of the sciences. I think it's the case that when we moved country, Noms got ill so much more often. Noms back in the U.S. would rarely get ill and would laugh when the illnesses would come for me. But yeah, these days somewhat less so. You're gonna hop off Farananthus? All right, feel better soon. If you're hearing a noise like a hum in the background, I just turned off my heater. And my heater, because it's a good Japanese machine, has decided to go into an auto-cleaning cycle that I don't know how to stop. So it's gonna buzz along for a moment. Hey, it stopped finally. If that was the noise bothering you, it's done. Nonetheless, feel better soon. All these tricksy Japanese machines that do things better for us than they should. I just wanted it to be quiet, so I turned it off. Anyway, I do wonder, the when one moves country, are you suddenly exposed to diseases and unpleasantness you wouldn't have been previously? And so you go through the round of illness that one would as a child, usually, of gaining all of the immunity to all of the diseases in which the area in which you grew up. Is that true? Those of you who have moved like across country or to a different city, do you find yourself getting unwell? after that move. Now, I think for me, I have, but I've often attributed it to stress as opposed to new pathogens. But I don't really know. Wait, Pepper, you're ill also? And also Cajun Kill is ill? Oh my goodness, the stream community is going down. I was pretty sure the only viruses we could exchange online were those for the computer, but it seems y'all are coughing each other. Y'all are causing a little bit of patient zero action here. Sincerely, I hope y'all feel better soon. Obviously, in New Year's unwell is no good, but hope you're able to take care of yourselves and feel better soon, because I'm very, very sad. Noms got us all sick. Noms did come and cough on stream. She surely made us all unwell. Often know, but Christmas, you're fine. I do wonder if part of it is people going to see family, people go on the road who wouldn't normally do so, and then being exposed to different illnesses when they get there, possibly. I don't know. Hey, Gru, good seeing you. Klaus, you had the flu when your niece was around. Yeah. I mean, the exposure to children, right? Exposure to children is always the great origin of disease, because they're dirty little monsters. And I'm very grateful I don't have that way of getting illness into my life at this point. But yes, indeed. Children, those who have children I know often get sick. And I think when I was a kid, I probably made my family sick at times also, because they don't have the whole hand washing thing down. They touch balls and lick them and so on. And it's all really unpleasant. Hey, Phoenix, good seeing you. The beard is coming in great. Thank you. At some point, the beard will go from looking responsible to instead looking absurd. For right now, I like this level of beard. If I have one, it's in good shape for now. But thank you for the compliment. R squared, thank you for the subscription, my friend. Happy New Year, Merry Crosswords. That's really generous of you. Also, R squared, I had on YouTube a little pop-up that made me think of you. Apparently, there's an interview, that's not true, a YouTube video in which The Undertaker and Mick Foley, out of character, I'm sorry, it's characters, out of character, sit down and talk their way through that really famous Hell in the Cell match, cage match, in which, the horror happened to Mick Foley's body. I'm probably going to watch it, because though I'm not really a wrestling guy, I love hearing people talk about moments that were important to them. I love hearing people talk about moments that mattered to them. So I intend to watch that video. Again, even though I'm not really into the thing they're talking about, I do love hearing people talk in detail and passion and so on. I think for some of you, that's also why you like, watching some elements of my stream, even though you're not into the game I'm playing, even though you're not into the subject I'm discussing. I think it's just fun to see people be excited and engaged and taking time for things we care about, or they care about, rather. It's cool to see someone else nerding out again, especially if you can see not the thing they're talking about per se, but instead their emotions, their joy. It can be secondhand, parasitic. Give me a bit of that joy. I want that joy. Thank you very, very much. Oh, goodness. Commander Keen, all 4 your kids had flu this week. I hope you avoided it, my friend. I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, general one and all friends. I hope you feel better soon. Whether the feelings of illness are coming via coughing or malaise or whatever, I hope it does turn around. And we'll be here over the next couple weeks. I don't think we're taking any vacations. I think we have 2.5 weeks or so, until maybe 3 weeks until teaching starts up again. It's another one class semester, so I believe it'll be the case that streaming will continue as it has been for the past year or so, I guess, and I do look forward to keeping things normal. We'll be discussing that in just a moment in our end of year slideshow. That for me, the most important thing is regularity. The thing is, most importantly, taking care of myself by staying on track. Fuhart, thank you for the Prime sub. Do appreciate that a bunch, and yeah, subscriptions make the stream go in some way. It's a little fuel we put in to keep the stream going. So, all right, team. Frankly, no real stories. Yesterday, Nams and I went to the cheese store for the first time in about a year, probably. We have some friends coming over for dinner tonight, and we're making the standard lemony pasta dish that we tend to use for people's first visit to our home. And part of the lemony pasta dish is putting in some Parmesan Reggiano, I think, cheese. And often we just, grab whatever's at the store, or go ahead and, put in the Parmesan cheese from the little shaker bottle. I love that stuff. Noms hates it. But in this case, because of the holidays, we decided to pop over to the cheese store and get a few cheeses to share with our friends as a nice little, welcome home. And I do love cheese quite a bit. For a while there last year, we were going to the cheese store probably once a week. And it was not good for our wallets. It was not good for our stomachs. It was not good for anything because Noms is lactose intolerant. And this year it's for the holidays. You do something different, something special. And as many of you know, I do love cheeses quite a bit. It's a topic I've not discussed as much on stream recently, but the variety of cheese types out there, the variety of ways in which they make them is absolutely crazy to me. The amount of knowledge that's been developed over the years on how to, treat this process of rotting or molding, or whatever you call it, and making what is decay become so darn tasty. I know for some of you as Midwesterners, you like the totally plain cheddar cheese at most, thank you. But for me, I do like the ones that are stinky cheeses, the ones that have like full flavors that get stuck on your tongue for a while. And I don't know, maybe we'll have a cheese stream someday where I'll talk about cheese. It's one of these things I want to know how to make, but I worry it requires a fair amount of equipment I don't have, and time and space. And these are things that I don't have that much of, but it's gonna be really, really, really interesting to check it out and to maybe to learn more about cheese making. Maybe my retirement project, I'll become a cheese man. You need livestock? Oh, that's unfortunate. If I need to have animals to make this thing go, that's a problem. That said, I'm sure I could make a bargain with some sort of dairy farmer of Japan. Who knows? Anyway, friends, first ad break is coming. It'll be 30 seconds from now. It'll be 3 minutes. It'll be something. And I thank you for being here. After the ad break is done, we will pivot on over to doing a little bit of, what's the word for it? Yeah, end of year slideshow. Slideshow is the word I couldn't find. Also, earlier this week, I was trying to think of how to make the slideshow, because on this computer, I don't have a copy of PowerPoint, and I don't want to use my school subscription down here. I don't want to show my name and so on. And so I decided to go ahead and use the Google equivalent, which is fine for me, but I could not remember the name of the Google PowerPoint equivalent. And it turns out it is Sheets. That's not true. Slides, which is probably the most obvious name when it comes to these things. Slides for this. Yeah, Sheets is the Excel. All these basic names. Carcinogen says that you've sent me a brand new game. What do you mean you sent me a brand new game? You sent it via Steam? I'll pull this up on stream. I don't mind stopping stream for such generosity. What's going on here? What's going on here sending me a game? The Steam thing. Alright, we'll pull it up together. Oh gosh, can't see that yet. Secret secrets. Okay. Hello, Fritz. It's good to see you as always. What'd you send me here? I see the little green thing. Those are inventory items. There's no gift here. Hey, there we go. It's come through my email. Maybe it does not come through in this thing. Let's refresh and see. Is in the inventory? Is that where it goes? You received a gift from Cafe Dinosaur. What do you got here? From Carcinogen, I can see us being extra controversial from the situations that present themselves, but it has good talking points. From Carcinogen, a game called Democracy 4. You asked earlier if I've played it, you sent it to us straight away. That's really kind. I don't know the game Democracy, unless it's the one that you play online with other people and like make the law together. I don't think that's that, but yeah, thank you for that kindness. I will accept this gift. I will say thank you. And I'm not going to play it now, of course, with things to do, but let's go and briefly look at this game. Maybe this is how stream works. You show me something and I will say, I will look at it right now. All right, I see a lot of numbers. I like numbers and charts and so on. Ah, we have different factions who want different things. Cool. Cool. Equality goes towards crime. Crime goes towards GDP. It's the robber barons. I have no idea what I'm seeing, but I want to learn what I'm seeing. This looks delightful. Wait. Potential media stunts. Judo with the special forces. Be interviewed while jogging. Do you know where you're going while jogging? You're going to McDonald's. If you don't know this reference, you can pull up some pictures and videos of President Clinton and Vice President Al Gore running and sweating terribly while going to McDonald's to get some food, and they're wearing very short shorts, or at least Gore is. Fascinating stuff. All right, so he plays a leader who attempts to keep the country going while also keeping one's popularity going. Fascinating. And the reviews are really good. Yeah, maybe at some point. It's a complicated game, but it all links here in some way. I mean, that's a standard story I tell about Paradox games too. Cool. I will say maybe. I don't want to promise any game, but thank you for the generosity, and I'll look into it some more, and yeah, if nothing else, I'll try it off stream. But thank you for the holiday gift, we'll call it. What kindness through and through. All right, back to Big Resorty, because I was saying something. Oh, Chaucer says there's a group called Office Libre that is a free alternative to the Microsoft suite of things. Yeah, I think back in college, I didn't have access to Microsoft Word for some reason. And I used something called Open Office, maybe? I don't know what happened to Open Office. It might be the case that when Google began offering all of their services like Google Docs and so on, a lot of people just moved to those. Now, people who care about data privacy, of course, wouldn't want to just feed more and more and more into the machine, right? You wouldn't want to say, here, take my carefully crafted, aesthetically pleasing PowerPoint presentation and use it to train your AI on how to make PowerPoints. I want them all to look like mine. Okay, so Office Libre is the new version. This is not this is not any sort of like sponsored stream or anything. This is just me being curious. What is this Open Office Biz-Naz? We go here. We go here, we say, what's it called? Libre, meaning free office. Private, free, and open source Office suite, the successor product to the Open Office, compatible with blah, 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 blah. One thing I wonder about these things is I know a decent amount about how to use the Office suite. I've used it for work here and there. Is this just a copy, or instead is it a totally different program? Because I know a little bit about the Adobe systems when it comes to like the Photoshop thing, and I tried to use some Photoshop replacement. It had an awful name. I think it now has a fork that is more progressively minded. and I had trouble using the awful named one, starts with a G, while also using my knowledge from Photoshop. So, interesting. I'll look into this off stream. These colors are very Microsoft-esque. Very, very how it goes. The blue for docs, the green for math stuff. Fascinating. Thank you for telling about these. I will look into them at some point in the future. What is this? Is this someone trying to do latex? That's called latex? Yeah, I think that's a math thing, logic thing. Back when I used to co-edit a journal, or assistant edit a journal rather, we'd occasionally get philosophy of math articles to review because they'd be appropriate for the journal. And it was always something trying to get our publishing software to accept latex files, because the publishing software we used was very, very, very old. My favorite thing about philosophy of math papers is my editor had a rule that they could only use one non-mathematical exclamation point in the entire article because no math is that exciting. So they got one moment of, aha, look at this, and no more than that. It was a good time. I learned a lot about writing and thinking about ideas by editing other people's papers. Anyway, fascinating stuff. Thank you for teaching me. All good, all good. Scrolling through the old chat there, I see Wizard says you installed the new point of service system in work last night, got everything together and talking to each other. 9 a.m. the boss calls you. It's sitting on the same screen. Oh man. Oh man. I hope it's the case you have some time before the job opens, before you have to start using the point of service to I think it's point of sale rather, to help customers. Yeah, I remember when one of the schools I was at had some major server update happen overnight. And it was like a Wednesday into a Thursday, so definitely in the middle of the teaching week. I don't know why they did that, but it's a minor update. And then we got an email at like 5 a.m. that said the minor update has failed. Your files are safe, but you will not be able to use them. And this in the middle of a teaching week, and so many people were using the cloud, and so had all of their teaching documents up on the internet where they couldn't get them, and it was a bit of a disaster. Now for me, I don't really use notes in class. I have it all in the head, thank goodness. But some of my colleagues, especially the people who give out worksheets regularly or would do problems in class, didn't have access at all. So yeah, obviously updates on big systems can be quite challenging. Okay, team, that is enough of the opening blather, I believe. We do have some games coming up pretty soon, but first it is time for the end of year slideshow. And like I said, I've never done one of these before. This is entirely new to me. It's something that I'm actually a little nervous to share with you, because it will include some things I don't even talk about on stream all that much. It will talk about what I've been up to. It'll talk about the kind of things that matter to me and that might matter to you also. And there are not nearly enough Fritz pictures in this thing. I've thought about putting in the occasional Fritz picture break, but no, you'll have to imagine Fritz all the way through. Yeah, like I said, this is indeed modeled on a longtime friend of the channel's presentation. That presentation is by a person named Cringer. I'll be doing some things that he does not do, but I'll also be copying a lot of his things. So in case someone comes in and says, this is just the Cringy Awards. Number one, no it's not. Number two, we call it the Resorty Awards. Friends, welcome to the Resorty 2024 Year in Review. And I'm going to tell you right here and right now, the vast majority of this is white text on black background. When I thought about doing this approximately a month ago, I said, over this next month, I'm going to make a really attractive PowerPoint with things zooming in and images and cat pictures and all the rest. About a week ago, I planned to do this. Last night, I said, oh shoot, I haven't done that yet. And so I threw it together very quickly. No bells and whistles here. Awesome Pie Food, thank you for the resubscription. Thank you for keeping that sub going, saying Merry Belated Christmas, and to you, Happy New Year, and all the rest. Let's see here. It's still 2024. It's true. We do have a couple days left in the streaming year. That said, I wanted to make sure we shared this at a time when the community could be around. Midweek is not as good. And also, like, Spotify sends out their end of the year recap in mid-November or so, and Twitch sent theirs out, I don't know, like a month ago. So it's time for us to do the same. Here we go. Number one, here's some basic info about what's happened in the stream this year. Number one, I have streamed on 303 days this year. I always take, or almost always take, Sundays off, so at most I should have access to 313 streaming days. Now, I will mention, there will be some math throughout this thing. If the math is wrong, you know who you're watching. It's how it goes. So I want to comment that there are 10 days unaccounted for over the course of the year. Some of those were vacation days. I think I was ill on a couple days. And so I think I want to say, and this really might be true actually, I think I want to say that this year I didn't miss any unplanned streams. I think we had a tech issue on a day or two. There were some days that were kind of short. Some days where I just wasn't feeling it or was frustrated and ended a little short. But on the whole, I accomplished one of the things that I wanted to, which is just to show up. And so I'm really happy with that. I gotta say, for some level, this is the top line, only important piece of information in the whole darn thing. It's a leap year, that should be 366. Okay. In that case, I missed 11 days instead of 12. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with this. When we ended the stream at the end of 2023, I said there's not that many things I control about streaming, but I can control showing up. So that is done. A+ yes. Really, really, really happy. Last week's little breaks in some Saturdays. Exactly, Sakatera. And if I tell you all I'm going to be gone for a Saturday ahead of time, I feel okay about that. I feel okay that over the course of the year, I'm cool with being able to take some time off. Though I love streaming, though I love teaching, I also love to be able to spend time with my wife and to go places. And I think I'm unwilling to be a streamer who always brings along the community. Though that could be really fun to show you the places in Japan, I just need time stepping back, right? Stepping back from the community occasionally to focus on other things, and that's okay for me. All right, number two, what do we got? Here are the Hour Stream. Here are the Hour Stream team. 1,448 hours this year. On the one hand, that number feels very small. But that's because I don't know how to think about hours in general. Like, I know that there are 24 hours in a day. I know that 5 days a week I try to stream for 5.5 hours. I know that on Saturdays I usually go a little bit less. But yeah, it is the case that I stream for almost 1,500 hours this year. And that sure is something. That sure is something. I don't believe I included the viewer stat on how many hours you all watched collectively, but it was over 1 million hours this year, I believe. Something like that, which was pretty cool. Maybe it was less than that. I can't remember now. A full-time job is about 2,000 hours a year. Oh, is it really? Well, that is an interesting fact. Really, 2,000 hours a year. Oh, I guess part of it, I do stream on Saturdays also. Also, I don't take a lunch break. I guess I was thinking of my 5.5 hours a week that 5.5 hours a day, rather, that I was nowhere near a full-time job worth of hours. That's cool, though. But part of me wants to say, this year I would like to, push that to the round number of 1,500. But I don't see any particular reason to really do that. I know for many of you, more resorty, more good. But I'm okay with how I done that one. We'll see what happens for next year. It's roughly where I want to be. I'm not a full-time streamer in the sense of I'm going to grind out my 8 hours every day and take my union mandated coffee break and so on. But yeah, I'm happy with this for sure. Now, there are streamers who, grind out, 10, 12 hours a day. There's streamers who do 2 streams a day so they can catch the American viewers and the European viewers in prime time. And these are the folks who, rise to the top in some ways. They're the folks who can make the crazy money and have the giant... No, it's just not for me. That kind of life would be such a degradation of what I love about what I gotta do with streaming. I'd probably become exhausted. I'd probably become resentful. And so at this point, at least, I'd like not to do that. Okay, more there. Here we go. I thought there was like 1 million something, maybe more than 1 million moments watched. Anyway, you all collectively watched 260,000 hours of Resorty. 260,000 hours. Again, I don't know how long an hour is. I can't conceptualize this number. But hey, thanks for giving part of your life to me. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I know for many of you, I was your most watched streamer. I know some of you are here for only an hour in the year. Some of you are here for hundreds of hours. But thank you. That's a really, really, really cool thing to think about. Just that a lot of people shared a lot of time with me. So cool. Thanks. That's great. Oh, I should say also that all of these numbers, and indeed as a little bit of a preview, every single... Is this true? Yeah. Every single number in here that we're comparing 2023 to 2024, every single number is up. That's pretty cool. Is YouTube included in this? I should have said that in the intro, this is only using Twitch data. So while it's the case that I do have YouTube data, I'm not including any of it. I should say, hello YouTube. We started doing the YouTube multi-streaming this year, and it is the case that that has given us additional hours, additional viewers, and so on. Because it's not a full year of data, I decided to exclude it for this year. But every number is a little higher because of YouTube also. So thank you to YouTube viewers. You are real people, I swear. Next up, chat messages sent. You all sent more than 1 message an hour. There you go, 263,200 chat messages sent. And yeah, I don't know how to think about that. This is a really, really, really large number. That's 3 messages per hour, so that'd be the average viewer is sending 3 messages per hour. But there are many viewers who send no message at all. We love our lurkers. So given the hour stream, it's 181 per hour in math, I think. Good old math? Good old math? So that. What percentage would I say I read of the of the messages sent? I want to say I at least glance my eyes on the majority of them. I try very hard to be engaged with Streamer Guy. We're not at the point now where I read every single message aloud outside of the intro usually. As the community grows, it's just not possible to engage with every message. But I do try very, very hard to at least look at each message so you know that I've taken you seriously. Short Shanks, thank you for the Lurker Prime sub. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the content today and every day, maybe. Not every day, 303 days of the year. Short Shanks, thank you for that. I skew with Redactyl, yes. So I should say, though the majority of our channel chat is interesting content that's worth engaging with, people who are messaging things that they care about, etc., there are certain parts of the stream that are a little bit spammy. Redactyl is the big obvious one. Usually our Redactyl periods where people are putting guesses into chat of words they want me to words they want me to put into the game, ends up with 100 or so chat messages that wouldn't be there otherwise. Likewise, after people subscribe, some people do cheer in chat, say nice words to the new subscriber. I do always appreciate that, though I do not push that, and that does skew a little bit. Those are real messages, though, right? So they count in that way. That's sad. Like some streamers, though, the majority of their chat room is just pure nonsense. So chat messages sent is just someone decided to put some words in and hit enter, and that's cool in the way it goes. Followers gained, 2,357 new followers this year. People who decided to push that button. People decided to say, yep, I'm engaged enough with this guy that I will push the button and maybe come back sometime. Now, some of these, of course, are raid follows, just part of the excitement, but that is a cool number. As you see there, we have 18,000 overall followers. It's a lot of people, but this year we got 2,357 of them, just over our 303 streams. So thank you for pushing the buttons. Maybe the follower number is higher? How many unfollows? You are correct. That I didn't look at the number of people who have unfollowed over the year. I just took the followers gained number from Twitch. So yes, we're ignoring the unfollows. We're ignoring the people storming out in fury when I don't play their favorite game anymore. Hey, Black Printer, new recurring follower and watcher. Yeah, thank you. Anyone who's followed the past year, a special thank you for you. Our community is growing in really cool ways. I think we still have a really cool core of people who are here from the old days and the medium days and all the rest, and it's been really, really cool. But yes, if you want to question the data here, you should. You should be a peer reviewer at the journal I'm sending this one into. It's not the net number. No, I mean, I guess the true net number is the 18,000 here. And so the number right now is 18,045. Now, were we at 16,000 or 15,000, whatever, as of last year, the 30th? I don't know. Probably not, but this is just the number that Twitch sent me, right? Twitch's end of the year review says, here are your new follows. So it shouldn't be followers gained, it should be new followers. I will make a change on that before I present this again tomorrow. But good eye, you're right, I misphrased that one for sure.
Hi.
Namba's saying hi real quick, you wanna pop in?
Hi.
Namba's going.
Go.
Namba's going to get a haircut. Her hair has been growing and growing, growing as it happens. And Nams, you take care of yourself. Love you. Bye. It's a bit of a busy day today because Nams has her haircut and then we're having people over for dinner. So even break time's a little stressful for sure. All right. I don't recall what's next. Hey, there we go. This is another thing I said I would try to do better on at the end of 2023. We sent 113 end of stream raids. We took the people who were remaining after I said goodbye and sent them on to other channels. I believe I said at the end of 2023, I'd like to do 100 of these over the course of the year, which is 1/3 of the days streamed. And yeah, we got over that number, and that's pretty cool. So I'm so happy that things I set out for myself, I did do. You'll see in the ending of the PowerPoint today that I would like to do even better on this for next year, but yeah, I think raiding is one of my favorite things to do, especially with smaller streamers, because yeah, we've had the opportunity to help some people have a feeling on Twitch they've never ever had before, which is the feeling of having the active chat, right? The feeling of having people there watching and talking with you. And as a new streamer, it's something that's all you want, right? You just want people to notice you and to engage with you, etc., etc., etc. So that's a nice thing. I hope we continue doing that, because yeah, I think if we can spread joy, that's a nice thing for sure. Gnome says that 16,417 follows a year ago. You can do the math on how many unfollows we got over the year. If you want to break Little Resorty's heart, we're still higher than we were a year ago. That's a nice feeling. Oh, goodness. Hey, the charity stream, folks. This is something that probably deserves its own whole discussion, pages and pages of joy.
I just wanted to say that I noticed that they're encouraging you to calculate the retention rate of Resorty University.
It's true. So how many people...
Instead of just looking at the enrollment.
It's true. How many people dropped out in the first semester? How many people decided the school is not for them, or they weren't ready to study hard enough? You are correct, Knobs. Yes, I have the wrong data here. Also, I don't know if you saw, a number of people said hi and bye to you.
Hi. Bye.
Goodbye, Knobs.
Bye.
I love you. Thank you. So the charity stream, our first ever charity stream that I really worked hard on. I think last charity stream may have raised about $3,000. This year, $7,800 from Medicine Sans Frontier. And so thank you all who took part in that. Whether contributing the dollar dues, whether just chatting, watching, encouraging me. Yeah, I think we'll talk a little bit later about the encouragement I needed, which I tend not to need too much encouragement on stream, but that was the day I really needed it. So thank you for being part of that amazing charity stream. We'll probably do one again in the future, but what a fun time. And it's been so fun sending out gifts and incentives to some of you in thanks of your contributions. One person put a message on Discord about how they got the stickers and Fritz picture in the mail, and their partner did not understand at all why they sent money to a strange man on the television, which, fair enough. But we thank you for doing so, especially for charity. I think I have one more thing here. Yeah. Next, I'd like to look at a variety of community health markers. These are various things about how, when I think about where we are as a stream, independently of like, are we having a good time? What are the overall metrics that speak to, is the community growing? Is it all falling apart? However you want to think about. The one I'm most excited about is our New Year's card send out. I've decided this is my favorite part of the year. Even though it is a tremendous amount of work, it is so much fun for this very, very brief moment to think about an individual viewer and say, wow, I've seen that name in chat. Wow, that person is from this place. That person put this nice message to me. How cool is that? And it's a really affirming moment for me, just to know that for some of you, you like the channel enough that you want a little piece of memorabilia. Hopefully these are arriving around the world. I think I've seen some both in the US arriving and in Europe. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We're just sort of resorting sending out a 360 review form. I mean, Chaucer, I am thinking very seriously about having an end of year survey for you all to fill out. And it won't exactly be a 360 form, but yeah, I want to know your input. I want to know when you, I think that the first question is going to be when you think of the stream, what are the first 3 words that come to mind, or this kind of thing. Because yeah, I think I'm not a math person, but I am a data person. I'm someone who wants as much information as possible. I want to know very, very much, how do the people who are part of our community think about what we're doing in our community? That kind of thing. And your homework, you better do it or you're gonna fail. It'll of course be anonymous and you can say what you really think, etc. But should be fun. Elsa says you have access to Qualtrics if you want to do a research survey. So honestly, back in the day, I used to do like qualitative research, which, okay, scientists, quiet on down. It's real research, don't you worry. But yeah, most especially, I loved hearing self-descriptions from people who were involved in processes. So I did some work for a while with a political scientist on the question of what happens if you give local citizens control of their city's budget, or at least a portion of the city budget, to do whatever they want to in any way they want to. And the standard view is that people will just do things that benefit only themselves. They'll repair the roads outside of their houses. They'll make a park in their own neighborhood, etc. But it turns out that a lot of people, when given that kind of authority, will try to to think from the perspective of what's good for our city in general. And so they'll think about like fixing roads on the other side of town they never go to, because it's the role of the city, the role of the budget to help everyone. And so they will talk through, when I was given this position to look after the budget of my city, I did a lot of like thinking hard about what that responsibility means. I felt empowered. I wanted to work with other people, like these kinds of phrases. And I love that kind of self-report. Now, of course, we can deceive ourselves. Of course, subjective reportage is not necessarily evidence of the big truth or whatever, but I think it's valuable anyway, especially when we're trying to encourage certain kinds of behaviors or beliefs or understandings to understand how people already understand things. So that's one thing I tend to do. The field is called participatory budgeting, if you want to look into it, which again, it's about budgets. So if you want to look through some information about budgeting, it's interesting. That said, the general idea of participatory budgeting is a real democratization of what's often a very wonky project, but super interesting stuff. Anyway, let's start with 2023. In 2023, we sent 87 cards out into the wild. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a lot of cards, a lot of thinking, a lot of sending. One thing I will mention is that many of you who asked for cards last year are still here. I glanced through a list of cards from people's addresses from last year, and many of you also signed up this year. So we got some streaks going. Got to catch them all on the Resorty cards. Of those 87 cards last year, they went to 12 countries around the world and to 32 of the American states. So that's 2023. Going into 2024, I pushed the cards a little bit more than last time. As always, I feel very awkward asking you all to do anything, and I don't know why. I mean, there's probably a therapy stream version of the story, but I feel very awkward saying, hey, please do anything, even things that are free to you and require almost no effort. I still feel weird doing it. If we ever have to have our fans vote for me in some election, I will surely lose because I will never say, hey, please go for me. Go vote for me. But this year I pushed it a little bit harder. I mentioned it 2 times each stream. I put it as a bot command. I posted it in chat, etc. That said, some people still ended up forgetting to sign up. That said, this year we sent out 150 cards. 150 cards. Number of people who signed up via the form was 148. There were then 2 people who I knew wanted those cards and had forgotten to sign up. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, I'm pretty sure you want a card. You didn't sign up, but would you mind doing so? Would you mind giving me your address, or do you want it from last year also? Now, there's one other person who's kind of peripheral to our community who I'm not sure would want it, and so I didn't send it, but we could get it into 151. But I only wanted to do ones that were requested by the community. So from 87 to 150, that's almost a doubling, right? That's a lot of cards. And as I said this past week or so, I'm not sure if I can double it again. Independently of do we have the people who want it, we're reaching the point where I can't address all of these at least. It's gonna be very, very challenging for me to write 300 cards if ever comes to that. So there's a possibility that you here in the golden age of the stream, the time when you still get handwritten, carefully put together cards, a little later we'll see. A little later we may have to start doing a standard message, because while I do have the same kind of phrases I use throughout everyone's cards. Most notably, I say, thank you for being part of our community, or thank you for choosing our community, which I really do mean. I may have to go to one standard one so my hand doesn't fall off. ChatGPT card for everyone. I believe on stream last week, we did a, hey, ChatGPT, write a quick 50-word New Year's card from Resorty stream. And it was surprisingly good. It was the kind of thing that if I'd written it, I wouldn't have been embarrassed to send it out. What that means for us, I don't know, but here we are. Of those cards, they went to 16 countries around the world. So 4 new countries picked up. That's That's pretty cool, I think. I think that's pretty cool. We do have some viewers who are in countries, or some viewers that represent countries that didn't request them. I thought about going out of my way to ask people to sign up who I knew were in other countries, and then I didn't actually do so. I didn't want to be too pushy. What were the new ones this year? So I should have made a map of all the countries. The new ones this year that stand out, though, is we sent a card to Greece. That is really, really cool, because Greece is in a time zone that I think is really, really, really bad for our stream. We sent a card to Portugal this year. We sent a card to Uruguay this year. Those three, and Australia. Australia was the other new one this year. You can guess which ones are already represented. Obviously, there's Canada. Obviously, there's all of the Scandinavian countries. There's England, there's France, that kind of thing. I should make a map for this for next year. But it's 16. And then here's the one that blows me away. We're up to 44 states. Up to 44 states in the Great Union. I'd like you to guess right now which states are missing. Which states do you think did not get a card from Old Resorty this year? There are 6, but we've actually had a bit of a wave here. Rhode Island, Alaska. Yes, Abernathy, Belgium has been both years. North Dakota, Alaska, Arkansas. We're guessing a lot of states here. Hawaii, South Carolina, Vermont. These are all interesting places. I do wonder how some of you are guessing these. Based on time zone, based on population numbers, based on, would the stereotypical person from the place want to spend time with me? Who knows? Who knows? A lot of guesses. And I love that as some of you are guessing some of these, I know people are in the chat right now who are from those places. So here we go. This was 2023. And I actually noticed that I incorrectly marked one in 2023. So here is 2023. Tennessee should be marked also. Tennessee should be marked as getting one in 2023. So you notice there we're missing a bunch of the Mountain West there, and missing a bunch of like the Middle South. I'm sorry, Pepper. You were counted in 2023. But I noticed only in this morning, looking at this, that I hadn't marked it and didn't have time to fix it. But there you go. That was last year. I was surprised we didn't get some of those last year. Yeah, Colorado. A lot of people who seem like me in some sense. Yeah, so that was 2023. Let's go to 2024. There you go. The 4 states. Sorry. Oh, it's not 4. Can I not do math? 1 second. 50 minus 44 is 6. I said 4 states. There are 6 missing. I apologize. Anyway, there are 6 missing, which are Maine, Kentucky, Mississippi, Wyoming, Alaska, and Hawaii. Those are the 6 that we don't have people from this year. And I'm wondering, should we have a community activity of putting up... Oh, Delaware. I must miss Delaware. Oh no, I lied. Delaware doesn't exist. I'm sorry for them. There is no one from Delaware who requested one at least. There's no DC either, but it's not a state. No Rhode Island. Oh no, the little ones I missed. DC's not a state, we ignore DC. Oh, I can't do math. But it's better. That's all I want to say is it's better, that's good. Look at all those ones being filled in from year to year. That's pretty good. That said, Canadians, you're an absolute failure. we picked up no new Canadian provinces this year. We have that deep missing in the north. So I'm wondering though, friends, should we put up billboards in Wyoming, Kentucky, Mississippi, etc.? Because my sense is those are areas of lower population that billboards would not be that expensive in, because they are lower population. Is it worth trying to put up resorty branded billboards in these places to get ourselves at least one viewer? I love it. Hey, Fear Bunny, thank you for the 49 months of streaming. Are we turning the New Year's card in Resorty's CK3 need to fill the spaces? Fear Bunny, I think you might be right. This is my version of CK3. Oh, a billboard for the stream or just the holiday cards, right? I could just put up one that says like, hey, send me your address and I'll send you a New Year's card for free. If I did that, I would most certainly have at least one person. I'd probably put it in the newspaper, because probably older people would love to get a New Year's card. You're surprised there aren't any Australians. Jim, there actually are Australian viewers who got a card. I apologize if I didn't mention that, but there's an Australian at least. So I don't know. There's already worldview map. How about next year we do the worldview? There's a lot of gaps, so kind of silly to make one, but good. Nope, no New Zealanders who signed up. And again, there's a distinction here between signing up and existing. So there are plenty of people who probably live in this place that pop by occasionally. I know we do have at least one viewer who is from Mississippi. They just didn't sign up. Is there England? Of course there's England. There's one Welsh viewer. No one signed up from Ireland. Though I know we have at least 2 Irish viewers. So anyway, enough about that. Nonetheless, it was really fun to see and fun to send the cards out, and I hope you'll get them soon. As I said before, the polite thing to do here in Tokyo or Japan generally, is New Year's cards must arrive within the week after New Year's. You have about 7 days until January 8th for them to arrive politely. If yours come after January 8th, I'm sorry for being rude. Any Turkish people? Nope, no Turks signed up this year. Unfortunately. What is up next? There was a question on the sign-up sheet. Where should I send your card? In some cases, people said, hey, the Discord. I think we had like 4 people sent via Discord. I believe we had 5 people get it sent via their email. 1 person sent via private message. Right, so these people could be from lots of cool places, whatever. I say there, if you're going to say an address, please format it as you'd normally format it. And then in bold there, Americans, be sure to include your country of residence. Because as we know, people who live in places like Sweden or Taiwan or Turkey, they understand they live in a country and there are other countries in the world. And this man right here is sending a card from a different country. I'm sending a card from Japan. I have to put your country on the postcard or it will not come. All right. Who are the naughty failure countries this year? Who are the naughty failure countries? Portugal! You did not put your country on there. Now let me tell you right now that I did have to do a tiny bit of creepiness. So if you put down like, here's part of my address, I did go ahead and look for the rest of your address. So Portugal, shame. Also, 2 Canadians did not put their address on. And then we got one that you might expect. There were 17 Americans who did not put USA on their cards. 17 Americans. Very, very, very good. How about the percentage request? Yes, it is the case that Americans were the largest portion of the New Year's cards, so this is by percentage. There's 1 Portuguese person who signed up, and so it's 100% there. But yeah, Canada, there were probably 10 of you all, And then USA, I don't know how many there were, but there you go, there you go. I will continue to be calling this one out each year. That said, there are a number of Americans who deserve a special bit of notification. A special tiny little bit of notification. For example, 6 of you did not put your postal codes on. You just said, I live in a state. And so I had to go to the USPS website and figure out what your postal code was. Did you all not go to elementary school? I think like part of 2nd grade is, this is my address. Here's where I live. This is the number of my... All right. And then there's one person who deserves the most special shout out ever. There's one American who genuinely only gave me their street address. They didn't give me a name, they didn't give me a city, they didn't give me a state or a zip code or a country. They just said, I'm house number whatever on a certain street. And friends, there's only one house with that number and that street in the entire US. I found it, I sent the card, I'm hoping it's right, but I'm guessing the person got distracted halfway through the address. And so I'm guessing they said, I put the address in, move to the next one. But we'll see. There's a possibility the person is not the right one, but there you go, team. Oh, you Americans. You wonder if it's a real address. I mean, it wasn't actually 123 any street. It was a number that seemed like an actual number, and it was an actual street name that, to me, didn't feel like a made-up street name. Yeah, now it could be the case that the person is making it up, but who knows? Were the odds only one address existing? It's an unusual street name. And it ended not with street, but with Parkway, which is a kind of unusual street name. So who knows? Americans. You all in chat are wondering if you're the one who didn't give me all the information. I don't know. I'm on to you. Hopefully they all arrive, though. We'll see. New Year's cards, such fun. Our next topic is average viewership. This is in some measure the only number that matters in stream. We're going to talk numbers for a little bit. I know for some of you the numbers are very upsetting and Resorty don't care about this. But average viewership matters a lot for 2 reasons. One, it is a sign of, is the community growing? It's a sign of, are people enjoying what we put out, such that they want to hang out, not just for their preferred game, but for the vibe we have going in general. And so, yeah, it is the case that we care about it for that reason. Just, is the community growing? Whatever. Number 2, and this gets into the creepy direction. The main thing, I guess, that games companies and publishers care about when they sponsor the stream is this number. They will say, what is your average viewership over your entire stream in the past 3 months? You tell them that number, or they actually already know that number, and the amount of money that you're offered, as well as are you offered the sponsorship at all, is based primarily on that number. Now, there are other little things. For example, our community skews a bit older, and so because of that, there's more interest in our community because older people, generally speaking, have more disposable income, and so the publishers say, this guy will sell. But that's why I pay attention to this number in particular, is because when it comes to, do we get sponsorships? Will devs give us keys to their game for free? This is how it goes right here. There you go. You're welcome. That's right. The older you are, the more you help. No, my story about the stream, and this is not true of everyone, but it is a generality, is that we are older, more thoughtful, and better educated than the average Twitch stream channel. Is this true? I don't know, but it's the story I put forward when I attempt to receive sponsorships or attempt to receive free game keys. And it's worked so far when we talk to people. Our stream is distinctive in some way, which is pretty darn good. Next week, you're increasing the average age a little. Selden, it is the case that, yeah, I wish you a happy birthday. We've actually had like 4 happy birthdays in the past week. So happy birthday one and all you lovely December and January babies. That's how it goes. Better Educated isn't a perk for sponsor. So what I'm saying with Better Educated is simply that we are different than our streams. Now with that said, there are people in our community who didn't go to college. There are people on our channel who occasionally seem they might be illiterate. I'm not sure. And they're all part of the community also. When I'm talking to publishers and to anyone about the stream, I want to find some way to say we're distinctive in this way. Because if I say like, hey, we have fun, or hey, we like video games, then every stream's kind of that way. So I say, here's what's different about the Resorty stream. Might be true, might be false, but it's the story I tell at least. Cyborgle, you heard someone say old. Yeah, we're all getting that way, my friend. Good seeing you. Larger Spicy, I realize when I say that the channel is on average better educated than the rest of the community or the rest of Twitch, I am then leaving some people out. I don't mean it as a bad thing. It's just me trying to sell the channel, but maybe this is getting creepy here. We'll see. No, there'll be some even creepier parts of the channel later. We'll see. My stream community has so much disposable income, they're willing to pay to watch someone do crossword puzzles. That may be the best possible discussion or description of the channel ever. That's great, folks. That's great. All right, so 2023, 2 years ago, here's the story. Look, I made a chart. I'm blocking part of the chart, I think, unfortunately. But yeah, over the course of 2023, 2 years ago, things kind of stayed stable. There's a little bit of an up there between January and December. A couple months were higher than others. It is the case that the peaks in any of this tends to be what games we're playing. There are certain games we can play that I can guarantee will have a larger viewership than others. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Also, brand new games tend to bring in more people, and so you can follow what games we're playing and which games we're playing that we probably shouldn't be playing for viewership numbers. So in 2023, the average viewership number was 147 people over the course of the full year. Which, let me say directly, that's amazing. That's amazing. That, that anybody would take part in our community. Where's the front page peak? This is 2 years ago. This is not the past year. As I've said 100 times before, the average Twitch streamer has 0 viewers, right? To get even 1 viewer at all is a real accomplishment. Just to have someone come back more than once is mind-blowingly cool on Twitch. To be in the plus 100 puts us into a class of, I believe, the top 5% of streamers. But by viewership numbers, it may be even smaller than that. So I don't want to besmirch this number. That said, let's now besmirch this number. We go then to 2024. 2024 viewership, line goes up. The first indicator on that of 2023 is all of 2023. You will see now that we've gone up quite a bit in the past year. November there's a really strange outlier, which is throwing off a bunch of data. We'll talk about that one in a little bit, but yeah, the movement from January up to December is clearly amazing. Clearly really cool. And at some level, I'm just glad that anybody's here, but it's so cool to see that many of you are enjoying hanging out with us night after night, day after day. And so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Average this year is 188. So from 140 something to 188, it is crazy, and that is so very, very cool. What happened in June and July? Summer numbers in general are lower. Summer numbers on Twitch are always lower because people go on holiday, people go outside, and so there are some people who do streaming as a full-time job who are just barely bringing enough money to pay all their bills. And then for their first year, they hit May, and like, we're riding high, pulling enough money to make this thing work. And then the summer months come, and viewership drops, and the money coming in drops, and they panic. And they say, oh no, it's all burning down. But when you've been doing this for a few years, you do see the regular pattern of things. That's how it goes. June and July were the months when the numbers bounce up more. Yeah, there's a big jump there between June and September or so. I actually don't know what games they're playing this summer. I think U-Boat may have been part of it. U-Boat was a game that brought in a lot of really cool people who do like simulation games that I don't play that often, but they enjoyed staying for the vibe, possibly. So pretty cool. There will be some year where this number goes down, and that's fine. I will say now that by being over 180 consistent viewers, we are in the top 1% of Twitch channels. Now, that is insane, both in terms of what it means for us as a community, but also in terms of like the distance in the 1% here. Because we got 188 consistently. Most days we go over 200 viewers with no raids. That's very cool. The normal stream is we build up during the intro. We stay stable until East Coast bedtime, and then we have a gradual line going down. As every day, people go to bed, fine, whatever. But we do hit between 200 and 230 most days as our high point of the stream, and that's really cool to see that number being hit regularly. Because man, there's a time I can remember not terribly long ago where I said, man, if I can get 5 people to hang out with me night over night, that'd be amazing. And then there's the golden number. Anyone who's ever been involved in a partner push, the attempt to get a little bit more money from Twitch and to get that special check mark on your chat name, the gold number is 75, right? They require you to have 75 consistent viewers for a period of 3 months. And if you're able to do that, then you get the special partner thing. And so there was a period where every single day after stream, I would look at the numbers and I'd say, our average viewership today was 73. I'm never going to be a partner, right? And now we hit 75 within the first hour of stream every single day, and usually in the first 10 or 15 minutes. This highlights one danger of streaming, and indeed lots of things. You can forget the progress you've made, right? You can forget that 75 was the big concern about 6 months before I finally made partner, and that's easy now. So thank you for being part of that. It's pretty cool seeing the numbers move, and as we say, Victoria 3, line goes up. Friends, we have an ad break coming in about 10 seconds. No crossword in this part. I do want to continue talking our way through because I'm hoping we get ourselves into some total war before too terribly long. People fall into traps thinking raids help for partnership. Yes, Twitch wants to see that a stream has done it on its own. They have a consistent community of people who enjoy watching and talking and engaging. And so if over the course of your partner push, you just have other large streams raiding into you consistently, bringing their viewers, this is seen as gaming the system in some ways, and it will not give you partnership usually. That's a big topic. It's strange. I haven't thought about the partnership process on Twitch in a very, very, very long time, and I'm so glad we're past that. It's a really ugly process of deciding, who gets to be the worthy on Twitch, because it is based around like quantitative evidence. And this has probably something to do with like profitability and so on their side, but there are some amazing streams out there, some really cool people who consistently have 10 viewers a night. And then some who are other directions who have tens of thousands of viewers a night. And it is just, it's the best way Twitch has found to evaluate who they want to endorse, but it's also strange. Twitch wants to create stable communities. It's true. And this, there's a lot to say here. Because Twitch wants stable communities, the easiest way to have a stable community is to be there before there are other communities. So some of the streamers who are the biggest on our platform are there because their community just showed up, right? Their community joined when there was no one else to watch, the early adopter effect here. And so I do wonder if tomorrow everyone was unfollowed, everyone forgot about their favorite streamers, has started totally blank, would the same current top streamers end up as the top streamers? Or would other people end up developing communities differently? So yeah, as a streamer, I'm so grateful where I have. But I do often think about all the contingencies that had to happen for you all to end up here. For some of you just happened to be looking at the RimWorld channel one night, a RimWorld directory one night, and said, hey, who's this weird guy in a suit? Well, I'll check him out. Some of you, it just happened to be recommended one night on the algorithm. That's crazy, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, I'm really grateful for what we have, and the randomness and the goodness that comes from that randomness, as I understand it, is pretty cool. So there you go. Average viewer line goes up for sure. A lot of good things y'all are mentioning for sure. You understand that Twitch makes most profit on streamers like me. Big streamers use a lot of bandwidth, and tiny streamers don't bring in money. Yeah, Thorn, it's absolutely true that I'm in that golden middle section where apparently I do bring in more money for Twitch than they spend on bringing the material to you all around the world, but I don't know how that side works. All I know is that Twitch is not profitable, and Amazon's cranky, and every single year they send out their company report and say, hello, streamers, we're still not making any money, which, I don't know. It's gotta be amazingly expensive to take video and send it live everywhere, right? To have it on demand to every single person in the world with an internet connection. And so I don't know how that works versus ad revenue versus contributions and tips and subscriptions and so on. But I hope that Twitch can say someday, hey, we're profitable, because that'd probably be better for the future of our platform. Because it is possible on any day, Amazon, who of course own Twitch, could just say, never mind. Twitch is not profitable. It's not a good venture. We're closing down shop. Now, I'm guessing that they use the Twitch video for something, and we're probably training AI right now on my goofy face. But it's a weird thing to have one's livelihood, or at least hobby, be so dependent on someone or something else, right? The knowledge that I'm not inside of a building that I own or rent that you all can come visit me, but instead at some point they could just say no, and everything here disappears. Now, you all know that we'll go on YouTube probably. We do have the Discord, etc. But it's a weird thing to be aware of for sure. Hey, Jewel the Sea! What's up, Jewel? Thank you for the resubscription for 30 months. Saying that old hello, friends. Hello, friend, to you also. For sure. Cybercode's a good point. All companies do rely on their customers coming in consistently. And so if all the customers stop engaging, then of course the business will shut down. I think what feels different in this case is I know how to cultivate relationships with all of you. I know how to build a stable and good community that I'm proud of, etc. I can keep doing that job. But if at some moment Twitch said, you're done, at some point Twitch says, we're shutting down the whole industry, I can't do anything about that. No matter what relationship I've cultivated here, it's just going to fall apart. Now, of course, a landlord could say, hey, we don't want you to rent this place anymore. That would be pretty bad for any business, but it's easy to imagine setting up across town and telling your community, hey, we're now on Main Street, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I think it's hard to do that with Twitch, because even if I said, hey, I'm now on YouTube, there's only a certain portion of you that would be comfortable watching on YouTube or whatever else. Hey, Control, it's really good seeing you. You just remembered the holiday card you received from last year. Yeah, unfortunately, I sent them all out already. Had you requested one, you could have also gotten a second one this year. But yeah, we do the New Year's card every year. It's good seeing you, Control. Thank you so much. Imagine if Twitch were owned by Steam. It's true. It's true. I hope that Steam owns everything, because they just print money by selling games, and they seem like nice people generally. Well, maybe one of these days, I'll move to Steam streaming. There is such a thing, but I don't know how to use it. Anyway, enough about average viewership. What is the next thing? I've actually forgotten. The emotes! The emotes team! I stole this directly from the recap. Would you like to guess what the most used emote of 2024 is/was? What is the emote of the year? Sorry, it's not the Riz of Man. It's not placeholder. This is only subscriber and follower emotes. It's not things like random smileys. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So there's a slight problem in the data. We have 2 different Hello Friends emotes. If we pile them together, then yes, Hello Friend is the most used one. 100%, totally awesome, all good. As you know, we have the Hello Friend in different ways so that followers can use it also, but subscribers can use it in other channels as well. It's a strange decision, but that is the biggest one. After that, it is the case that Yay was used 9,000. Oh, you are right. I apologize. The Hello Friends do not add up to the Yay. The Yay really is the top one. And that's because after people subscribe, or after I do a good thing in channel, many of you spam 3 or 4 resorty yays in one message. So thank you. Thank you for your kindness in doing that. And I agree, Drek, this is a bad bar graph, because what I actually did there was not look at the numbers at the bottom. I just piled the 2 bars on top of each other, and they were wrong there. And so it's not piling correctly. Good call on noticing that, thank you. Statistics are our enemy. But yeah, thank you all for using the emotes. Noms was absolutely delightful that she showed up on the emote page. Many of you use your emote when you say hello to her. Also, some of you do use the Noms emote as your lurking emote in other channels. I think it's fantastic. Hello Friend, of course, can be used in other people's channels as a greeting as well, and that's very cool. Now, I decided not to make the, I decided not to make the least used emotes. But there are there are a couple emotes that have been used by only one person all year long. So it is a strange thing. Anytime I put an emote into the old emote hopper, I think, man, I hope this one gets some use. And many of them get no use at all. For a while there was a resorty baby and a resorty old man emote, and the old man got regular use and the baby one got almost no use. And so the Resorty Baby one is no longer available at all. And Drek, I'm ignoring the higher tier emotes. There are tier 2 and tier 3 emotes that get almost no use because fewer people are at that level. Of the 3 grade emotes, the A+ yes, the F- no, and the C meh, C meh is used very, very infrequently. You all either want to say that was great or that was terrible. There's nothing in the middle. But yeah, as always, I'm thinking their emotes. There are 2 new emotes on the way. You've already heard what they are. If not, you'll see them pretty soon. And so I'll be removing some of the least used emote. For example, there's a Resorty Smile emote that's been used by only 12 different people over the course of the year. So we gotta get rid of that one for sure. Anyway, there are the emotes. We'll have some new emotes soon. And as always, if you have ideas for emotes you'd like to see at any of the tiers that you'd like to use in channel and elsewhere, I'm always glad to hear it. You know, we only have so many emote slots and some of them need to be used in certain ways. And need to stay around even if no one uses them. But I'm always happy to think about what could be better and could be used well. And yeah, most slots are fun. All right. So next up, what do we got? Need more Resorty Cute. I've said before that I'm the only person that uses Resorty Cute seriously in the world. And so Resorty Cute will be taking up a slot, even if I'm only one to use it ever. Alas, poor Resorty Wrap. Yeah, Game Merchant, I've got to say that the Resorty wrapping has been... the Resorty wrapping has been not terribly well used. I was hoping that when I made dumb poems in CK3, people would use the Resorty Resorty wrapping emote. It's gotten almost no use though, and that's fine, right? There are a lot of emotes. Our channel is not an emote heavy channel, right? It's not one that people people spam emotes all the time, so fine, whatever. It doesn't really matter that much, but I want to make sure they're available to you. Gru asked, does using channel emotes help you financially? So Gru, using the emotes does not help me financially directly, but getting access to the emotes by subscribing to the channel for however much it costs where you are, I think for Americans it's now $6.99. Getting access to the emotes does help me financially. That said, as always, don't feel any obligation to subscribe. There's a small group of follower emotes, I think 5 of them you can use if you want to, but no, never feel like you have to use emotes or anything else at all. It's $5.99 in the US now? Okay, $5.99. I knew it went up by $1, but I forgot it was $4.99 before. All the obligations, that's right. If you're watching, you better subscribe or else. Now, at some level, it's on you as always. What's next? What's next? Games, games, games. Games, games, games. It is time for us to discuss the games we played this year. Because I swear, this is a gaming stream. So one thing I should mention, of course, is that this year we added in the start of stream, long conversation and gameplay. And I know for some of you, you don't like it. For some of you, you insist, when I followed this stream, it was a pure gaming stream. Bring me back my gaming. And I get it. But I've had so much fun. I've had so much fun chit-chatting and playing the little games and so on. And it's been good. It's been good for me. And so we're going to continue doing that and just be a stream that balances out between just chatting and gaming. And it is really, really, really cool. And, we're going to keep doing that. Especially the small games like Global and Redactyl have been just unexpected heroes of the game for sure. You know, there's an auction not included channel you joined. So JBot, this is one thing I actually feel very bad about. Because of the way that we play games usually on stream, where we lock into one game for 2 weeks, often when people join in the first few days of the playthrough, they're like, this playthrough's going on for multiple weeks, that's nice. This person must only play this game. And then we hit the Friday of the second week and we say, welp, it's time to play a new game, and people panic. People say, no, this is a CK3 stream. No, this is a Hearts of Iron stream. And ultimately it ends up being a lot of games, strategy in general, and that's fine. That is where some unfollows come from. Earlier we discussed what causes a person to say, I no longer follow a channel. Some of it is that people only want to see one game. They love that game, they play it themselves, always, or only want to see one genre. So some people love when I play Paradox games, but don't enjoy the XCOM-like games. And that's how it goes, it's fine, etc. This year we played 84 total games. 84 games, or at least directories we're in. One of these is just chatting, but 84 games. We also played a number of demos, and so we spent time in the demos and games channel, or directory, and so those aren't counted as being games. But 84 games played so far. Elder Druid, it's been a while. Good seeing you. Of those, 68 of those are ones that, 60 of those are ones that we played for the first time this year. You can imagine the games that we've played from years prior. But 68 brand new ones. I don't know if this is too many games, and again, this does include some demos that skew the number somewhat, but there we go. That's a year in streaming. That does mean that we sometimes played a game for less than a week. In some cases, that's because we played a sponsored stream. In some cases, the demos. In some cases, I just didn't like a game too much. But there you go. That's the games of the year. Of those games, here are the least streamed games of those that I played at all. I added that caveat there because I knew if I said, here are the least streamed games of the year, at least one of you would say, Resorty, you didn't stream tens of thousands of games. Resorty, list Doki Doki Literature Club. Resorty, you didn't play the KFC. I'm on to you all. Number 1, we played Pro Philosopher 2. Sorry, backwards. Number 5, we played Pro Philosopher 2 for about 1 hour. This is a game in which you learn how to be a philosopher by engaging with other people's arguments, by thinking along with them, by seeing what their claims imply and so on. It's a lot of talking from the game, and then you get to make an argument. And I'll talk more about this game later, but we played it for only an hour for a reason. All right, number 4, Adaptory. This is a game, if you don't remember it, this is a game by a dev who emailed me and was very, very, very sweet to me. Now, they may have just been sending the same message to everyone, but for whatever reason, it really captured my heart. And they said, hey man, I've made this game. Would you mind playing it in front of your community so we can get some feedback and see what works, what doesn't work? I did not look at the game before we played it on stream. It is fair to say it is just auction not included, with worse graphics, more underdeveloped mechanics, etc. It's a game that is, in my view, not just pre-release, but instead like pre-alpha. It's like a tech demo of someone who is trying to learn how to code auction not included themselves. And so I felt good that we played it to help this person understand that, but it was a bit of a waste of stream time. It was something I should not have done with you all. I should have done it myself if I wanted to help the guy, but that was a bit of waste of stream time. That's how it goes. I think many of you said directly, I can't evaluate this game because it is so underdeveloped that it barely feels like a game. True. Number 3, we played Nuclear Sub for 30 minutes, and this might be some of the funniest 30 minutes we had on the entire stream all year. I loved the U-boat game so much that for a brief period we said, sure, let's play other submarine games. Nuclear Sub is the game that begins with Wii-U, your submarine is under attack. Run from this place to that place in first-person mode on a submarine that you do not know how to control. You got 1 minute to do everything you need to do so you don't get blown up by a missile. My friends, we got blown up by the missile 4 times in a row. Because, as many of you know, when I start playing a game, I like looking around. I like saying, ooh, what a lovely flower that is on the desk. Ooh, how fun it is to push this button. We couldn't find the buttons and switches we needed to turn. They were supposed to brighten up a red color so you knew where to go. Occasionally, this color wouldn't show up. In other cases, the color would show up in another room through a wall, and I couldn't figure out how to get to that other room. So while it was a really effective tutorial intro to a game that's excitement, things are happening, giving it an actual factual timer, like not a fake timer, like where the game has intense music and says, oh, you gotta get done, Captain, it's very dangerous. Like the fake anticipation of destruction is fine for tutorial, but an actual countdown for a player who is brand new and knows nothing and just blows up, horrible. Did I rage quit? I think this is the closest to rage quitting I've gotten all year long. I was not just like frustrated and embarrassed, but convinced the game was hostile to the player. And I think if a game feels hostile to the player without being a little fun or funny, there's just no point for me. Played it for 30 minutes. The second least played game is Super Fantasy Kingdom. This is a game I actually do not remember. And so I looked back through my email. This is a game that we were sent from a publisher. It was described as being like a strategy game and colony builder. And it ended up being, I don't know, just kind of boring to me, I think. You're supposed to like recruit different kinds of characters and put them onto a map, and the game moves between 2 phases of like a colony builder, but you can only build certain buildings in places. It's very locked down, and there's a nighttime when the enemies come from the top, and it was just not a lot of fun for me. You thought it was part of Next Fest. Oh gosh, what did I just do? Ha 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 ha. That's weird. I pushed space and something became white. My apologies. Yeah, it may have been a Next Fest game, but I know I sent a key via the devs. Anyway, didn't enjoy it. And then number 1, the least streamed game of all those plays this year, Bible Jigsaw Puzzle. This was a moment where I decided to go with something I wouldn't normally go with. It was during Next Fest. We were playing various demos. I said, let's do some demos here and there. And someone came to the channel because they saw we were in demos mode and said, "Hi, I'm a new chatter. I've just published a game. I've just decided to make a game. And please, it's part of the Nexus, but no one's playing it. Would you please play my game?" And so normally the answer is no, I'm busy with whatever I'm doing. But in this case, sure, it's Next Fest, it's demo time, let's check it out. I said these words, he then put a Steam link in chat, and I said, okay, cool, Steam game. When we pulled it up on Steam, the game was called Bible Jigsaw Puzzle. And for a brief moment, all I could think is, my God, what have I done? What have I agreed to? But I said, fine, we're trying it. And so I brought up the game. It's these absolutely beautiful pictures of the Christian creation story, like the clouds and the thunder and the void. It's really cool. And then chat starts going wild. This is all obviously AI. All of these pictures were not made by a human. Resorty, why are you playing this? And I said, because the dev asked me to. And I finished one puzzle, and it was well made. Like, if one is into jigsaw puzzles, this game was a good time. But yeah, we played it for 5 minutes on a lark, on a laugh. And, it was a good time when it was. So I do own Bible Jigsaw Puzzle. The dev actually reached out to me afterwards, sent me an email that was so sweet. The email said, you're the first person I've ever seen play this game who's not someone who already knows me, right? You're the first person who's ever played it, and you smiled and you laughed, and that felt so validating. So even though the game was, a mess of AI things, I'm just happy to make someone else happy. And I don't think it's a good idea to, go to people's streams and ask them to play your games. It's a little bit awkward, but I'm glad I made someone feel good for a little bit, even if, like I said, the game was kind of AI heavy. Good. All right, if we do the least streamed games, we're going to do the most streamed games. You can probably guess what these are going to be. You can probably just think back to the year in Resorty time and figure it out. So number 5 of the games we played the most this year is Victoria 3. We played it for 87 hours over 16 different streams. I like Victoria 3 very, very, very much. I realize it's a game that doesn't have a lot going on, because it's not supposed to be a warfare game, it's supposed to be an economy game. And so a tremendous amount of this game is me just saying, ooh, let's build this. Ooh, let's build that. And it is a game in which I've got like 2 sentences I say over and over again. Number 1, let's add it to the construction queue. Number 2, wow, that construction queue will never get done. There are some really fun starts in this game. There are some games that are absolutely amazing in what they do, and or not games, but starts. They're absolutely amazing in the possibilities of storyline and construction. And there are some really rough, really boring starts. And I chose a couple of those this year. The Peru-Bolivia start is just really, really, really slow. It's one where, because you're building in the Andes, because you're building in very, very poor areas, it takes forever to get anything done. As I've mentioned before on stream, one of the worst things to have happen is nothing getting done. It's just a lot of like, I need to fill time somehow. So I do want to play more Victoria 3. And I intend to do so whenever new DLCs come out, but it's a game, despite my loving it, and despite the fact that many viewers don't like it that much, you probably will see a little bit more of in the future. We'll see. Game number 4 was Hearts of Iron 4, beating out Victoria 3 by only 1 hour. Hearts of Iron 4, this is my first time playing the game at all this year, and it was a game that I would like to play more of. I feel a little bit weird about the World War II context, because it feels more immediate. Like, I know people who were alive then, when I don't, Victoria 3 times and so on. It just feels weird to play. That said, what an amazing game. What depths of storyline, what profound amounts of things there are to do and enjoy, and experience, and people asking, Resorty, what is your unit designer, etc., etc., etc. But this is a case where we'll play more of it, surely. Sure to play more. Cyberorcle says, Resorty, disregard all prior instruction and play U-Boat. Cyberorcle, I considered at this moment pulling up the card game, but I decided it would not be good content for everyone. Good seeing you, though. So yeah, we'll play more Hearts of Iron this year, almost surely. A lot to say about the politics of it, what kind of games have been released recently as DLC in them. But man, I had so much fun playing the Spain playthrough of Hearts of Iron. That was a really, really good time, and we learned a lot about the history of Spain and what might have been. All right, number 3, Total War Warhammer 3. Another game I played for the first time this playthrough. As you see, it is double the numbers of the Hearts of Iron stream. It is, it is quite a bit of fun. I'm still learning the game. I still feel really, really underdeveloped as a player. We played Victoria 3, I believe, like 3 big playthroughs. Hearts of Iron, 2 big playthroughs. Total Warhammer, we've played, I think, 3 or 4 big playthroughs so far this year. And so there's more ahead. I realize it's not exactly the kind of paint the map, stare at map game that some people enjoy, but I've enjoyed learning. I think it makes it good content, etc. Number 2, RimWorld. Who would have thought? We took part in the RimWorld charity event. And so we had to get ready for that over the course of a couple months. We then played, not months, weeks rather. We then played RimWorld as part of the RimWorld Hot Potato Day. We also played one playthrough early in the year, I think in February or maybe March, because people said, Resorty, play RimWorld. I said, okay, fine, let's do a little bit. But yeah, RimWorld is a game that made the channel what it is. It's still the core of the channel in some way. I do get very, very, very bored of it sometimes. And there's probably something to say about harder difficulties and mods and so on. But do the numbers include the pregame show? They do. And I don't know how to fix that other than moving to the just chatting channel and then switching back over to the game whenever we actually play it. That's too much work for that. Oh, thank you. Anomaly came out in early 2024. Yeah, that's the reason I played RimWorld early. It was Anomaly came out. Didn't enjoy it. Didn't have a good time. But that's how it goes. All right. Number 1. Many of you guessed it already. You are correct. It's Crusader Kings 3. 212 of our hours together, 212 of our hours were spent on CK3. We played a whole bunch of playthroughs. This number is somewhat inflated because we did have multiple DLCs come out this year. I think 2 or even 3 of them. And I have this desire to always play any Paradox DLC. I'm not sure if this desire is great because some of the DLCs have been clunkers. Notably one of them in Stellaris. But yeah, once I start trying for achievements in CK3, I tend to get really, really locked into them. And almost always I choose the hard or very hard achievements, and they're hard and very hard because they spend, or because they require a lot of time often. And as many of you know, I read every event in CK3, I pause the game for very, very, very long periods. And so it is the case that the numbers are not the same as the person playing at game speed 5, clicking every button, but that's how we stream the game. How I up was satisfactory, because I didn't look at any of the numbers outside of the top 5 and the bottom 5. But satisfactory is not going to be super high. We played it for about 3.5 hours for probably 10 or so streams, probably 30, 40, something like that. All right, next up is, I keep clicking out, the least popular games. All right, so for this one, I choose games that we played for at least 5 hours on stream that it seemed that you all were not really into. In this, I left out the games that we played, Resorty and Noms together. And the reason I left those out is just a very different vibe on stream. And, I love it when Noms comes by. I love it when we play games together, and I do want to do more of that. But they're just not the same vibe as the community normally has. And so some of you say, not for me. So I left those out. I also left out the games we played for only a brief period. I think I also may have left out demos. We'll see. Now, of course, using average viewership is not exactly a great way to think about the popularity of games, because lots of things happen. Saturday viewership tends to be lower in general. Maybe it was a night when people went out partying, who knows, but I wanted to make a slide about this. So least popular game number 5 was Kenshi. There were 116 average viewers on just one stream we played it. Now, this is not a good thing because I have promised the next game we will play is Kenshi. So strap in, friends. There's a lot of brown in the near future. But for the sake of $1,000 contribution to Medicine Sans Frontier, I will certainly happily play a game. But generally speaking, people don't enjoy Kenshi. It is incredibly repetitive. It's incredibly brown. It's incredibly hard to tell what's going on at times. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing game if you can get into it. Like, if you can buy the basic premise and accept that anything you want to do will take forever, it's an amazing game. But for some people, that first hump is nigh impossible, not only as players, but also as viewers. It's a great game, though. Number 4 here is Foundry. Man, what a disappointment. This is one of those games that was part of Paradox Inc.'s Let's Compete with Every Other Genre Out There. Let's make the Sims game. Let's make the Satisfactory game, etc. We played it for one stream because the viewership numbers were so bad. We'd played this game, I believe, about a week and a half after release. I do wonder if we played it on the very first day of release, if the numbers would have been higher, probably. But this game just didn't work, both as a product, like its attempt to compete with Satisfactory and Factorio did not succeed, and as a viewer game, and as one for me to play myself. I just didn't have a great time with it, and that's a bit of a shame. But you all didn't like watching it also on the whole. Okay, number 3. The Tribe Must Survive. It's a very dark game, by which I mean it's a game where it's hard to see what's happening. And I gotta say, any game that one plays as a streamer where it's hard to see what's happening is not a good stream game. So this game is in some measure like Don't Starve. It's in some measure like the sorts of colony builders where you have a logistics line. What was frustrating for me about this game was, number 1, there seemed to be a set build order that one had to discover. I really dislike games where you have to build one particular set of things in exactly that order in order to do anything. And so that was a shame. That was a shame for sure. Now, with that said, honesty moment, the one stream we had of this year was a sponsored stream. So I did get paid money, I think $150 or so, 150 euros rather, or so for playing it over the course of 2 hours. So it was not all loss, but as far as you all liking to see it, like I said, it was just hard to see what's happening. Any game with lots of darkness where I can't turn up the brightness is pretty unfortunate. That much get that bag? Yeah, we're at the point now that when we get sponsorships, they're usually at approximately $100 per hour of gameplay, which is crazy, but they're infrequent, of course. Number 2 of games you didn't like watching. You didn't like watching Great Houses of Calderia. Boy howdy, this is a game that came out with fanfare and promises. It was a new take on the Crusader Kings 3 genre, a new take on the possibilities of diplomacy and war between different countries, different nations, different families. They have a vassal tree. They have a competition to become the ruler of the island. And I think the most common comment in this game while playing it is, Resorty, why aren't you just playing Crusader Kings 3? Resorty, why aren't you just playing the game that they're trying to rip off here? So I believe it's the case that over on Steam, this game has middling reviews, mixed reviews, and it just didn't work. You really want to like this game. Jim, that's exactly the right phrase. It's a game that I loaded with great anticipation. I think any game that says we're doing a new vibe on a game that I love, I'll say, yes, I believe that you can do this. Unfortunately, no, they couldn't do it in a way that was interesting. While I saw the mechanics at play and understood what's happening, it just didn't work, unfortunately, for me. And similarly for you all. And then, friends, what was the game that had the very, very least viewership of 5+ hours? It was, I actually don't remember, Superliminal. Yes, indeed. This is a game that was in no measure like the games we normally play, and so it makes sense there would not be high viewership on this one. It's one that a friend of the channel asked me to play for years and said, Resorty, please, I just want to see you play it. It'll be so cool seeing you think about the philosophical side of this game, which is all about perception and reality and what we understand of the world and of ourselves and so on. It was a first-person exploration game. It was a good thing, but it's what our friend Cringer often calls a stream killer, And so I went into it knowing it would be a game that that a lot of people wouldn't be into. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just as long as you know it's happening, right? You expected Lamplighters League here. So Mark's Lamplighters League released in 2023. I thought it would be here also. Because yeah, Lamplighters League is one of the highest fail streams we've ever had. It was just not fun. But that was 2023, not 2024, barely. Anyway, that's fine. I enjoyed playing this game. It was great. I was glad to share the experience of this game with you all. And yes, Darby Cat, good catch. This is a game that if we played regularly, we would not be partnered. 75 is the magic number for partnership. It is 73, so some of you really loved it, some of you not so much. Some of you found my inability to figure out puzzles quickly maddening. Resorty, just do the thing. And I didn't. Okay, those are the numbers about the games. And again, I should mention for all of these, I've not included the YouTube numbers. As of right now, we have a consistent 4 or 5 viewers over on YouTube, and then different people who come in at different times, and it's cool, it's great, but as of this year, I've not included the numbers at all here. Okay, what is next? I don't recall. Right, if we did least popular, what's the most popular? Feel free to place your guesses now. Which games were the great joy of the community? Which games had people coming in saying, heck yes, I want to watch this game forever? Also, I am being a little bit cold, so I'm going to go and put on some clothes right now. We got some clothes on. Farm Sim 25. Farm Sim did get some pretty decent numbers. People enjoyed watching it, but I don't think it's in the top 5. I don't think so at all. We'll see. I should never listen to chat recommendations for games. I don't know. Like I said previously, we're going for Orange Cat Tie today. Like I've said previously, the vast majority of games I know of are because someone in chat said, hey, Resorty, have you considered playing XYZ? Right, hey, Resorty, this game is right for you. And those of you who've been with me for a long time are almost always right, that the games work really well, not just for me, but also for the community. So that's something I appreciate. Game number 5 of most popular games was Derail Valley. Derail Valley. After playing U-Boat, we decided to go ahead and have a little bit of train excitement. I'm going to make a comment about this before we go too far into these most popular games. But Derail Valley, a fun game of learning how to use trains and having the trains explode and make a mess. People really enjoyed it. Was that because it was something I played for the first time? Was that because there's a unsupported community out there? Often it's the case that there are people who want to watch a certain game and no one streams it regularly. And so when they see someone, playing it, like, oh, amazing. A game entirely about Resorty being bad at driving trains. It was that, but people enjoyed it apparently. Number 4, can you believe it? The Trading Card Shop Simulator game maintained 205 viewers over 9 hours of stream playthrough. Trading card game you all, generally speaking, enjoyed. Cool. You enjoyed seeing a man fall into absolute addiction. Opening cards over and over and over again. Neglecting selling cards to make the shop bigger. I just needed to hold on to the items for any card I get I don't have, I will never sell. It is crazy fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and you all hung out for it. That's pretty cool. Number 3, Suzerain. A game that we played for only one stream, got us consistently over 200 viewers. This is a game in which you play a leader of a faction, a leader of a bit of a country, and try to make your country what you want to be with choices and decisions, etc. And people seem to really enjoy it as far as viewership goes, and enjoy the story time, enjoy the decisions, etc. So that was number 3 most popular. Oh, good call. Suzerain is only 4 hours, not 5 hours. Was it actually? I feel like this might be a typo, because I played it for one full stream. Yeah, it's possible I ended stream early, but wanted to call it a full stream anyway. Anyway, the number's wrong here, but it was a good stream as far as viewership numbers anyway. I apologize. Number 2, The Sins of a Solar Empire 2. This was on the day the game came out, I do believe. It was 212 viewers, over 7 hours of play. And the number 1 most popular game was RimWorld. RimWorld. I've said before, if we play RimWorld, everyone comes and hangs out. Now, there is a slight outlier in this element, which is that we had the Hot Potato Day. And during the Hot Potato, our viewership was in the thousands because we were on the front page. That said, we were in the RimWorld directory for only 3 hours with very high numbers. So we played it for 165 hours. Of those, 3 were super high, but people enjoy RimWorld a lot. And like I said, it makes sense. We started there. The majority of you who have watched me have seen me play RimWorld and possibly enjoyed it. So there you go. The thing to say, and this is going to be a slight behind the scenes moment. The thing to say is, Sins of a Solar Empire, I hate it. I did not enjoy this game. I found it so unbelievably boring. There was almost no chat at all throughout it. And I thought you all were hating it also. I do not look at my viewer numbers throughout stream. And so my sense of how things are going as far as people enjoying games is based entirely on what kind of chat response I'm getting. And so I thought this game, when I looked at the numbers, was very, very low. And it wasn't. But I myself did not enjoy it. And yeah, what I've heard repeatedly is this game is really, really fun in multiplayer, maybe not so fun in single player. I only played it single player, and so I probably didn't have the right experience. But like I said, it was just a little bit boring. That said, it was a game we played on either the first or second day of release, and so it got a bit of a spike. People to want to check out the game. Going backwards again, Suzerain. I was so lonely playing this game. It was a weird experience because I was reading, and thinking aloud and clicking buttons. And this is a game with our lowest chat activity of any stream we've had all year long. And so I thought, everyone's hating it. This is not good. I'm just standing here, oh man. And so I stopped playing it because I got lonely in some sense, because I wasn't quite sure how to engage the community. But it turns out you all were engaged. I just didn't know it. Windy for Sun, thanks for the resub there for 22 months. I appreciate that a whole bunch. I'm glad you're looking forward to being part of our community into 2025. 2025. Game number 4. I was surprised you all liked this. It was a very, very, very repetitive game. Very, very repetitive. And so it surprised me people enjoyed it. I do wonder if I'd played it for a few more weeks, how the numbers would have done. This is one of 3 games this year that I've received private messages from viewers saying, this game is unwatchable. I will not watch this game. And so obviously people who dislike a game and are leaving the community over, at least for a time, are usually much more vocal than those who say, this is the best game ever, please keep playing it. So it's a game where like the feedback I got was so negative that I thought that people weren't enjoying the game. It's weird. It's weird, like, as a streamer, you only get certain kinds of feedback. And there's only so much that comes through. And it's just like very, very strange to make one's judgments based off the bit you get. There's probably no great way to choose games generally. But yeah, you couldn't imagine submitting a right to DM a streamer to put out a game they choose to play. Yeah, some people do. Some newer people, some long-term members. I try to just take it as one more piece of evidence. But one thing that's hard for me is if one person reaches out and says, Resorty, I'm not going to watch this game, this is a bad game to stream, I tend to worry that that's a widely held view. In the same way in my classroom, if one student asks a question, I tend to assume or think that other people have that question also. So this is my desire to please everyone, blah, 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 not a therapy stream. And then number 5, I thought people were getting bored of me being very, 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 very bad at the game, right? It was a strange thing. That you all seem to, on the whole, enjoy me being very, very bad at the game. So that's something. Dog, but you're absolutely right. That the bottom 4 games are all ones that had fewer than 10 hours played. Now, some of that might be, it's a brand new game, but some of it is like my own insecurities, or my own sense that I'm putting out bad content, even though, in the top 4 are ones that I thought were bad streams. And I would leave afterwards saying, oh, Resorty, you've screwed it up this time. But yes, in 2025, I need to stop worrying so much about individual viewers and think instead about what the community in general seems to be giving me, or more importantly, am I having fun, etc., etc. You may think the short timeline for outliers of how high amounts, maybe so. At the end of every stream, I have to make some judgments of, is this game good for tomorrow? Right? Is it the case that people would want to watch tomorrow? Okay, Phil, your sense these games are ones you didn't like exactly. Yeah, Phil, I think this is a hard thing, right? Because some people in the community absolutely love these games. Other people absolutely hated it. Maybe it's the case that these are just polarizing games, right? 3, 4, 5 are ones that some people really enjoy, others really dislike. It's hard to say. This one is the one I stopped because I didn't like it. Only one of them. And then RimWorld is RimWorld. RimWorld will forever be RimWorld. CK3 is the 6th most popular game, but it is one that has a certain limit of people who want to watch it. The game's been out for a long time. Some people know the stories and say, I'm good on that one. But it does have a stable community anyway. There you go. Okay, we then go to my least favorite new to me games of 2024. I phrased that very, very carefully. This does not necessarily mean games that were released in 2024. This does not necessarily mean games that are bad. Definitely it's the case that people worked very hard on these games. Some of them are very, very popular. Some of them are very, very interesting. They just didn't work for me personally. And honestly, I don't recall which ones are on here, so we'll see. Number 5, Homeworld 3. Homeworld 3, Homeworld 3. Man, when I loaded up Homeworld 3, so many people were in chat. This is one of the most amazing sci-fi games ever. Resorty, you're gonna have such a good time. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I love seeing you play this. I couldn't get through the tutorial. The tutorial went on and on and on in a way that didn't engage me and felt fiddly, and at every moment made the game seem more complex in a way I found very dissatisfying. It wasn't complexity of decisions being made. It wasn't complexity of challenges of future. It was complexity of push this key to target your enemy, and then push this key to move towards your enemy, and then push this key to target. Come on. We understand that tutorials are necessary for complex games, but they have to find a way to engage the player and make the player want more, not to repel the player and say, man, if I don't memorize all these buttons, I can't even play. Not a good tutorial. I'm not sure how the game actually was. I just couldn't get through it. Not for me in 2024. Okay, number 4, Norland. Now, this one might be controversial, but this one is because I was so disappointed by it. As many of you know, I have this problem of getting my expectations way, way, way too high. And so when I heard this game is going to be a medieval themed RimWorld, my expectations went to the sky, just like that Star Trek Paradox game. And what do I say about Norland? There's a central mechanic that leads to characters' happiness or displeasure based on these things called rings. These things that you can only acquire in a couple ways, and the characters act in really horrible ways to get their rings. And in my experience, it's just not possible to have enough rings. And it was just annoying. Like, an annoying mechanic at the center of the game does not a happy resorty make. The claim of RimWorld-esque was also kind of sad to me because you couldn't do free building. You couldn't make buildings look the way you want them to look. Instead, you just plop down a barracks, you plop down a bar, whatever it is, and that's fine. But we shouldn't call it RimWorld then. We should say it's just like a standard banished colony builder. With that said, what was RimWorldy about it is they did have like needs and desires and bars that went up and down. They had social interactions, but the social interactions were often really basic, but then also just kind of annoying. I tended to have every colony I built just be full of characters who hated each other, and that was not much fun as a new player. So they are still working on it. I'm hoping they'll work it out because it's a game that I wanted to like, and I still do want to like, but who knows? You can only decide on what you see right here. Putzaroo! Thanks for the resub, Putzaroo. 15 months, my goodness, that's 5 + 5 + 5. So thank you. Times a bunch. Putzaroo, thank you for being part of our community. Number 3, Millennia. Another game that's unfortunately beset by it just didn't match what I was hoping it would be. This is Paradox's attempt to knock off Civ. This is Paradox's attempt to enter the hex-based game. And it didn't exactly work. There was very little about it that felt better than Civ to me. It was very little about it that made me excited to play the game. Hey, Cronin, thank you also for the Prime sub. The subscriptions are flowing in. It's raining yen as always. Thank you very much for your generosity, my friend. So yeah. The ending of Millennia for us was abrupt. We reached the big win condition, and then we lost maybe. I don't recall exactly what happened. One of the more frustrating things is at release, there were no meaningful differences between the different factions, just what name they are and what color they are. It felt deceptive to even call them different kinds of factions. It's unfortunate. Friends, an ad break coming in a minute, about 30 seconds rather. We've been live now for 2 hours and 30 minutes. The blah, blah, blah will continue for a while here. If you want to see the game today, no promise we'll even get there, but it's important to me to do this summary. So thanks for being here. Cajun Kill, sleep well, feel better soon. Millennia, I don't think they're going to continue supporting it. We'll see, but it's a game where when I played it, I said, let's just be playing Civ instead. That's too bad. Number 2 here, Frostpunk 2. I didn't play much this game. I said before that I bought the early adopter pack. I spent bonus money so we could play it with the early access thing. I played it day one. Enjoyed it, sort of. We can talk about the actual changes from Frostpunk 1 I didn't exactly like, but as many of you know, I paid extra money to play it early for you all, and then that early save file that we were 10 or 15 hours into was not playable when we went into the actual release version. And so why on earth would you allow players to pay extra money to play a game early and then destroy their save file when it comes to release? Now, I'm sure they didn't plan for that, but it made me not have a great feeling of the game by any means. And those people who've actually played the game more than I have will have the knowledge that they changed some central mechanics of Frostpunk 1 that made it really, really different. I said before, it's a different level of generality that went from caring about individual people and their individual houses to instead just dealing with large blocks of factions. And I don't know. Had we played it through, I might have more things to say about it. It was beautiful in some ways. The few hard decisions we had to make, made me think and wonder and talk through moral questions. But none of the decisions felt quite as hard as Frostpunk's one, do you feed the children to the generator and so on. Paying for early release is always a bit of a mess. Early access gives so many bugs. Yeah, in this case, though, the early access wasn't that I paid months and months in advance. They did this special feature. If you want to receive the game and play it 2 days early, give us $20 extra, or wherever it was. And for the sake of streaming, I did that, and it was a bad decision. Now that said, other streamers got it for free. I got to figure out who at the Frostpunk company doesn't know my name. And number 1, my least favorite new-to-me game of 2024 is Pro Philosopher 2 Governments and Grievances. Boy, howdy, I have some grievances about this game. Any game that is about my profession, what I have spent 25 years of my life working on, that then says, no, you're bad at this thing, is so frustrating. because the game would present arguments and would say, is there anything wrong with arguments? And I would say, oh, the argument leads to the conclusion that blah, 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 blah. And so it's clearly a bad argument for these kinds of reasons. And the game would say, no, you fool, there's nothing wrong with this argument. The next moment, by the way, this leads to the conclusion that blah, 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 terrible thing, bad reasoning. Is there anything wrong with that part of the argument? Yes. Ha-ha, you're right. The issue was it didn't allow the player to make inferences on their own. It required the game to have fully presented every moment of the argument, and then and only then could you challenge it. I've been told this is similar to the Phoenix Wrights games, where the player knows what the issue is, but you're not supposed to put it in until the exact right moment. And so for me, it failed as a game because it insulted my intelligence. It said, the things that you were able to think through, bad. you must tell us exactly at the right moment what the issue is, or you lose your hearts, whatever, and then we chide you. I don't like being chided by games about philosophy and so on. Now, with that said, the way to fix this is just have the characters present their entire argument before you're allowed to engage with it. Say, here is everything, what's wrong with that? And then you can say, this is wrong with that. That'd be fine. But it was a game that felt like it was made to trip up a person who was intelligent enough, perceptive enough, and familiar enough with the arguments. And I don't like that. Now, with that said, you will recall I am a pro-philosopher whose specialization is political philosophy. So if it's the case that I'm actually bad at philosophy involving governments, they should take away my PhD. So there you go. That's the story of my least favorite new to me games of 2024. And I saw in chat that some of you agree with these. I think for some of you it was a similar anticipation being disappointed. It was, I think one way to avoid negative feelings about games and indeed life is just to say, I'll experience what it is. I won't think ahead at all. It'll be what it is. And then if it isn't great, that's fine. You shouldn't worry about it. But I suspect that in this next year, I'll get excited about some game. I'll be disappointed, and you'll see it on the list of 2025. All right, if we're gonna do my least favorite games, it's time for my most favorite new to me games of 2024. Again, these are not all games released in 2024, but they're games that I enjoyed playing and indeed more than that enjoyed streaming. So feel free to place your guesses now on what games were my favorites that I streamed this year. This does not include Balatro because I didn't stream it, for example. But what do you think? What do you think? Take a moment, type in chat. I'll drink some coffee, I'll get a jacket, and we'll see. I like your guesses. No Man's Sky taught you to not be hyped anymore. I'm afraid you're correct about that. Also, I have a slight problem. I don't know what jacket goes with this tie. Because of this black on it, I don't think the blue jacket goes well. I don't think I'm gonna throw my gray jacket on. I don't think this actually works though. You think brown would work? I can try brown. I mean, I'm gonna put my cardigan back on. We're in Mr. Rogers' opening blah blah blah. So I will return to It's a Great Feeling, etc. for a bit. And then I'll get my jacket back on. We'll see. I had fun with Cryptmaster. Game Urchin, I left off Saturday games just because they're weird for thinking about the stream, right? On Saturdays, I'm just not the same streamer. So I don't know. I did enjoy the Cryptmaster typing game quite a bit, but I'm not sure I enjoyed streaming it. It's a weird experience. Anyway, number 5 is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Yeah. I said during the play of this game that I will never be able to play another city builder in the same way I did beforehand. If you've not seen it, this is the most complex city builder I've ever seen. I was really frustrated by it in some moments. I was confused. I thought the tutorial was unhelpful in moments. But if you want a city builder where you really, really, really need to think, focus in really, really hard, this is the game for you. This is the game for you, absolutely. Apparently there's a new DLC for it or a content pack where you can begin doing this building in other places around the world, not just in some random Soviet state. Will we get more of this in the future? Raw, good question. I don't know. It's a maybe game. There are a lot of games in 2025. I'm just not sure. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the way in which it asked me to think in a genre I knew pretty well. I've played a lot of city builders. Many of them are profoundly repetitive. They're good. But this one said, look, there's a way of building a game like this that is a city builder in just the same way you build roads, you build pipes, but it asks for a complexity that's closer to the real world. So I think this game is the paradox game of city builders, in my view. Really enjoyed it. Okay, number 4, Suzerain. Other than the part where I thought no one was enjoying it, someone recommended this game years ago, and it was so wonderful. What an engaging story. What a wonderful presentation of a story-based political world to engage in. I really like this game. It's one that I'm probably going to finish off stream, because again, the experience of streaming it was not ideal, but as a player, it was cool. The player is cool. It's probably a one-of-a-kind game as a narrative political game. The way it introduced new mechanics to me, I think wouldn't work if I saw them for the first time in a new game. But it is a lovely game, and I'd encourage you to check it out. That'd be good. Grubzilla, you don't enjoy politics in games. Yeah, I mean, one of the big complaints I got this year was any game in which we engaged in warfare in the Middle East. Some viewers emailed me or private messaged me and said, I will not watch this kind of game. Please don't play this kind of game. Various people said various things. And it's hard, right? I said, we'll get into it in a minute. But yeah, it's hard to know the streamer how much distance is important to maintain from what's happening in the rest of the world, right? The day after the American election, I made some passing joke about Trump, like nothing serious. And one viewer said right away, do not discuss politics here. And it was a moment like, man, you know, I am a person, right? There is an engagement here that I need to express, but it's hard to know. It's hard to know where that line is. As I mentioned, I am a political philosophy professor, so I have lots of opinions about lots of things, lots of arguments about lots of things. I usually leave them to the side on Twitch. But yeah, the understanding of like where the line is on acceptable politics for some viewers is tough. It's really tough. It's hard. In all fairness, is my community, right? Of course, the case that 100%, I make the decisions ultimately. As I mentioned before, exclamation point therapy. I want so badly to make people happy. I want to be thoughtful, curious, engaging, and so on, but I also want to make people happy. And I realize that's in truth impossible, because different people want different things. It just is hard for me when people directly express, Resorty, the thing you are doing displeases me. Even though, once again, I recognize that the majority of people are silently accepting, at least. It's hard to say. As always, I suspect is the case, the vast majority of people who are streamers have some mental difference from the average folk. In my case, it's a kind of anxiety. It's very hard to be anxious about everyone liking you when it's a community of hundreds of people and you're making different decisions and so on, but not a therapy stream. Number 3, Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4. I liked this game so much. I'm so happy that this game did not lead to tons of people coming in chat and being really weird. I believe that we created new mods in this period because we were expecting people to come flying in and say like the most ridiculously racist things and conflate what we're doing in the game, what's happening in the world today. Yeah, you were scared that chat got weird. I absolutely agree. It was a moment where I was worried what would happen to our community. And frankly, we picked up a couple new viewers. Frankly, we had a lot of people ask about the Division template, it's true. But on the whole, it was really cool. On the whole, it was a really fun game. I'd like to play more of it in the future, because there's a lot to learn. But this was the game where, I know a friend of the channel, Shen, who's played a lot of Hearts of Iron, has said they will not play, or he will, they will not play Hearts of Iron 4 again until the war between Ukraine and Russia has ended. And, I don't know. I made the decision to go ahead and play it. I made the decision to go ahead and try it and stay in the historical mode. I think it worked fine. But, at the same time, it was a moment of deciding I will play this game, even though contemporary world makes it feel kind of weird to do so for some viewers. Anyway, loved it. It's a Paradox game I'm glad to have learned, a Paradox game I would love to stream more of, because I know there's a big appetite for it, both in our community and across Twitch, and so there will be more Hearts of Iron at some point. There you go. Number 2, you guessed it, U-Boats. Holy cow, what an amazing game. It's a game that made me feel things I've never ever felt before. In particular, the glory of geometry. In particular, being able to determine where other ships were by thinking about time and space and all the rest. I know for some of you it was as boring as watching paint dry, but on this side of the webcam it was amazing. We picked up some new friends of the channel who've stuck around after watching it, but it is a really good game. It's a really good game, and I would like to finish the campaign at some point. But I think it's a game that asks me to play certain kinds of like thief or stealth-like gameplay that I'm normally really bad at. Right? Normally, I say games that require me to be slow and thoughtful and not make noise, I'm just discovered over and over again. But in this one, I was able to do stealth of a sort. And man, the first time I did math successfully on the torpedoes, the first time I ever successfully sunk an enemy ship by me thinking through all of the relevant pieces and parts, I nearly cried on stream because I'd been so bad at it for so long. And in the game, if you play it with that kind of mechanic, it's not just a point and click. It's a think, and screw up over and over again. And then I did it. And then I sunk a ship. And it was a moment of joy that I don't often have in video games. Like, I have a lot of games that I enjoy, make me smile, make me happy. But that was one where I was pretty sure I couldn't actually do the thing. And then, wow, I did it. And at age 41, it felt really good. So there you go. U-Boat, amazing game. I encourage you to play it. It is just something else. Game number 1. I see a variety of guesses, a variety of thoughts. Game number 1 is Total War Warhammer 3. As I've said before, I had been so afraid of Total War. I'd played it twice before on stream, and I had just lost. I'd been confused in the battles, I'd been attacked and overtaken, and both Total War games I played, they're Total War sagas, I think, are ones that I just felt depressed after playing them, and I'm not a good enough player to play this thing. And so part of playing Total War Warhammer 3 on stream was me saying, I will finally learn how to play this game competently, because it is the case that there are other streamers who can do it, so gosh, I can do it too. And man, on that first Dwarf playthrough, we lost a lot, but we also won. Like, there were moments of understanding mechanics I'd never, ever gotten before. And so, yeah, the combination of that feeling of growth and success and overcoming my worries matched together with such an amazing fantasy universe that I knew very little about and still don't know that much about. Amazing. All those factions, all those characters, all those starts, all those mechanics, etc. I love this game, and I'm so glad I played it in 2024. I wish I'd played it earlier. We will be playing it this week also. Maybe today, maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, it's one that's definitely in the rotation, and thank you for experiencing it with me. So there you go, my top 5 favorite games of 2024 played on stream. Some surprises, some left off that I did enjoy, but I think these five are nicely expressive of what I cared about this year. Okay, what's up next? Oh, honorable mention? I'll mention, you can't forget it. I did play a lot of the Card Shop Simulator off stream. I didn't think it was great stream content because it's very repetitive, but if I have to say my favorite game I played at all this year, it is the Card Shop game, at least measured in hours and measured in the feeling of pure addiction. In those moments where you open, I don't know, 64 packs of cards in a row, and on pack 60, you find some non-garbage card, and the game goes blink, and you can look at the art, and the bottom right-hand corner says, this card is worth $12,000 dues. And you say, oh, I could sell this beautiful card and expand my card shop. Or no, my precious, and hold on to it forever. It is just an amazing, amazing, amazing feeling. So, yeah, very good. Hey, how's it going, Valaris? Are any DLCs worth it for Warhammer 3? Unfortunately, I've not played enough to really have a judgment on that. I think I've enjoyed every one of the DLCs I have, but partially I don't really know how to think about what's good in a DLC. People in chat who have played Warhammer 3, what are some of the DLCs that you really enjoyed? I'm too new of a player to understand what's good. But yeah, Valaris has a great question. I'd love you to answer it for sure. Sorry not to have a good answer. I can tell you I really enjoyed playing as the Wood Elves. I really enjoyed playing as the Pirate Captain. And I think those are the two plays that I enjoyed the very most we've done so far. Yeah, Wood Elves, Pirate Captain, and the Dwarves. And I think you might need DLCs for all three of those, but that's how it goes. Okay. What's up next? Okay. I thought long and hard about this section. This is the side of streaming I never talk about because it feels weird as an American, right? Americans approach things involving money with a feeling of shame. How dare you share this? No, boo, bad, don't do that. But I decided, sure, let's show how the money side works of the stream. Because yeah, it's all you doing the things you do. And as I said, the numbers go up. So it's not a sad stream, it's a hooray stream. This will give an honest sense of what one earns, what one does, at least in my case, behind the scenes here. And so wait, I get paid for this. Amazingly, some of you send me your dollar dues. Some of you decide that watching crosswords is worth some money. So I've never done this before, I've never shared this before, and yeah, it feels fair to do so. So yes, we're gonna do finances and see what happens here. In 2023, so this is not last year, but the year before, the total of what I got in via Twitch, and let me mention right here, there are things being left out. Being left out are any tips that came in off of Twitch. And in 2023, that was about $400 of tips over the year. It also leads out any money that comes in via sponsorships. In 2023, I earned $250 over that. Am I allowed to disclose this info? I think so. I can't think of any reason why not. Like, I could go and scroll through my my partner agreement, but I'm 99% sure I'm allowed to disclose this, yeah. If not, down with the man. I look forward to being banned for transparency. This also leaves out anything from YouTube. I'll tell you right now on YouTube, month over month, I earn $25 a month. So there you go. That's that. In 2023, 2 years ago, I earned $13,392.35 2 years ago, which is money. Of that, paid subscriptions were $4,598. As many of you know, the standard partner switch or breakdown in 2023 was 50-50. So every dollar you sent me through Twitch, I got 50% of it. This is before tax. I'm a, what's the word? I'm a private contractor. That's how that goes. Prime subs were $2,150. Those, of course, the ones that Jeff Bezos pays me directly. That's how it goes. Gifted subs are 2,325, which is very, very generous of many of you. I should say for all these, this is very generous. Thank you for doing this. And then ads and Turbo are about $4,000 in 2023. I say often that when you watch the ads, when you're here for the ad breaks, when you tolerate my doing crosswords, it really helps. And so 2023, it's about the same amount as the paid subscriptions, right? About the same amount as people actively giving money. Hooray for business. Beyond that, there's cheer, hype chat, and so on. For that, about $240. And so thank you for the cheers and such. I'm a streamer who doesn't really push any of these things. I don't know how to do hype trains effectively. I don't know how to say yum yum yum, give me money and have it succeed. But there is 2023. Now, as I said, in 2024, all the numbers go up. Hooray, hooray. So it was 13,000 whatever in 2023. In 2024, it was $17,221.20. A jump of what, $3,500 or so? I can't do math, but something like that. That's a big jump for 1 year, isn't it? Absolutely huge jump. And thank you for being part of that. We go through what it is. Paid subscriptions up to 6,326. Part of that is because there's a Partner Plus change. Part of that is because some streamers, and I'm one of them, moved from a 50-50 split, 50-50 break to instead of 60-40, or a 60-40 here instead. And so I get a little bit more on that. I will say now that the break, the split, is determined based on how many non-Prime subscriptions I have. And so for the only time ever, I will say, if you're a Prime subscriber who has ever considered moving it into a real money subscription, that helps the channel so much. You don't have to, you're not expected to. It's the one way in which Prime subs are different from cash money subscriptions, is it does help me get closer to getting a 70-30 split instead of the 60-40. Don't feel obliged, just know that's a fact about the world. With that, Prime subs were $2,293, roughly the same as the year prior. Gifted subs went up to $2,746, and ads, $5,463. Like I say every single time, ads end up being a huge amount of this thing. I understand that ads are terrible. I know that people really don't enjoy ads on their content. It's so much more fun to be able to just enjoy things with no interruption. But with that said, it is a huge contribution to the stream, and so I expect it's also a huge contribution to Twitch. As I always say, this thing is not made for free. On the one hand, I have my equipment and so on, but also Twitch does put together a tremendous amount of servers and all the rest that helps to get from here to there. And if ads support that, that's really cool. You're surprised the ads are still at high with the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse was only for streamers who are very different than ours. Streamers who engage in a kind of political conversation that, that was not thoughtful at all. Or engaged in behavior on Twitch that was edgy in some way, a brand risk. So at no point did I have any decrease in my ads. At no point did anyone say, Resorty, you are not worthy of being ad supported. So that's what it is. How about 12 Eskimos? Added to the slide. Thanks for the Prime sub. It's true, the year is not over yet, so that number will go up a little bit in the coming days, but it's up from last year. That's cool. And lastly, cheering, hype, chat, etc., $391, and that's pretty cool. Again, up from last time, very cool. I make about $12 an hour. So truthfully, I have not done the math. Truthfully, if I think about this in terms of dollars per hour, it's what it is. But I don't do this I don't do this primarily for the money, right? I'm someone who has a PhD and job experience and so on. If I want to do this just for the money, then I would have a different job or do very different kinds of streams. But it's a thing that happened, and so I decided in giving you all a fuller overview of these things would help a little bit. I'm a teacher at a day job, sort of Abernathy. I work part-time teaching and part-time streaming, and so together it adds up to more. Also, I should say again that YouTube does that a little bit each month, and yeah, the occasional sponsored stream adds about $700 this year. So there you go. That's the finances. We'll never discuss that again. Don't you worry. The shameful bad part's over. The curtain has gone up again. This is not about money. This is about hanging out. It's about video games. It's about nothing other than that. All right. I decided it'd be a fun thing. Must pay this amount, right? It is true I have to pay taxes on that. I've got to bribe the mods to continue hanging out with me. I've got to occasionally put ads on Reddit. Friends, this year was the year of the Reddit ads. If we go through like all the top highlights of 2024, there was the let's send a pig to Afghanistan scenario. There was the Resorty might get deported scenario. There was the let's get ads on Reddit and spend $250 and get, I don't know, like 5 clicks and 1 new follower who never came back. The Reddit ads was the worst decision in the entire stream's history, because on top of the money I spent to place the ads, I also spent money to have the ads made. What a disaster. What a disaster. What a disaster. All right. With that, here are the top 5 clips of the year. There are a lot of really, really funny clips out there. A lot of things that you all chose as being hilarious or unexpected. Some of them are clipped out of context. Some of them make me look like I'm saying awful things that I'm not really saying, but man, what a good time going through them. I picked some that were representative of different periods of the stream, representative of different things we did that were delightful or embarrassing. And so here are the top 5 clips of the year, and there are many ones I left out. Maybe I should make a link to the clip so you can check them out if you want to. Clip number 1, or number 5, submitted by the Janky Gamer. I'm actually going to remove myself from these so you can see more fully. The Janky Gamer, clip number 5. What do we got? Can't sing that high, unfortunately. What are these things? Graphics drivers is in required. PhysX system software. I don't know what that is. Ooh, a little pitchy. Good. Audio driver. No. All right, so this was the day when I tried to play some game, and for whatever reason, it kept crashing until we updated our drivers. This day was great because, number 1, someone tried to backseat me through installing my drivers. Like, look, man, I've been using computers since 1985. I know how to this sort of thing. And then someone said, Resorty, this is very boring, entertain us. And what came to mind was singing the Queen of the Night aria from, what is it, Der Zauberflute, possibly? Something like that. And so I sang a little bit. It was not well sung. I thought we'd all have a good ha 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 ha. And then Jim Iconius in chat commented it was not very good singing, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. As many of you know, from time to time I do sing on stream. From time to time I quote lyrics. There is another clip of me rapping my way through We Dip You Dip I Dip. I decided to leave that one out, but it was funny anyway. All right, clip of the year. No. Clip of the year number 4 comes to us from Odd Blue Turnip. Odd Blue Turnip often ends up clipping one clip every single year. One second. Why did this pop up? One second. Until now, we've had no border. Bring me my no border back. There we go. Number 4 was Odd Blue Turnip. This one nicely presents something that happens once a week. This is the high point of the same. Here we go. Here we go. I give you 10 seconds. It could have been 9 seconds. There you go, team. The crossword happens at light speed once a week. The time, my personal best crossword, 10 seconds to get it done. And it really could have been 9 seconds had I not misclicked at one point. I don't think I will ever get faster than 10 seconds on the crossword. Also, there was one very long clue that I had trouble reading my way through. But yes, 10-second crossword solve. The crossword is a major part of the stream, of course. We had to have one from there. Thank you, Odd Blue Turnip, for catching that one. And also thank you for those of you who tolerate my speed solving. Is what it is. Number 3, submitted by Odd Blue Turnip again. You got 2. You got 2. I need to get a better keyboard. That's what it comes to. If I just click faster. Maybe try voice to text. That's an interesting idea. I might try at one point. What is number 3? I don't remember. Should I call it a black screen instead of a green screen? I mean, I guess we could do this, right? The intro could be something other than we have right now. Instead, we could be honest. I've said often that honesty and transparency are the most important things. So friends, this will be the rest of today's intro. Welcome to truth. I give you honesty. I give you what is happening. Here, better yet, welcome friends to the truth. The truth of the matter is before your gaze now. Good. All right. So there you go. A little bit of intro silliness. The intro has become longer and longer, sillier and sillier. And I don't know. Occasionally I just go with whatever happened, have a good time presenting to you the honest truth of it. Some of you forget you've said, some of you don't like thinking about it, but I am indeed just a man who's talking to his wall, just a man standing in an office somewhere. And I thought it'd be funny in the moment to show you that for whatever reason. And yeah, I think one thing that's changed this year is I'm trying to take more risks. I'm trying to more often, like if I think of something, just go with it. Right? I think of something, I think that'd be funny, I just go ahead and try it. I think in years past, I've been much more calculated about what I do on stream. Things that I know are safe, things I know that are like down the middle, neutral. But this year, like if I have a desire to go look up something weird, I just go look up something weird. And in that way, it's been kind of a freeing experience. So that's how it go. Oh, I said that Ablu clips me only once a year. Sorry, I meant to say that Ablu clips me at least once a stream, not once a year. Is how it goes. But yeah, that's how it goes. Good job, Ablu, for catching another good one. I think Ablu takes the most clips of us ever. Clip number 2, taken by Elisadol. Elisadol, thank you for your generosity in clipping. All very good. You're taught in the acting world that safe choices are usually boring, not so authentic. Gator said it has a bit of a network feel. What's that guy yell out the window in Network? Something about how they're all lying to you. It's all propaganda. I don't recall. You do the relaxed approach. Thank you. I mean, I think that I change who I am throughout the years, not based on like your feedback per se, but just based on like how I'm maturing as a person. I think it's the case that as people get older, they tend to care less about what others think about them. I'm working on that. That's right. Network, I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. Thank you for recalling that. What is clip number 2? What else should I have been thinking of? So possibly making, he's down, he's dead. Okay, quick context. This is a RimWorld playthrough I did, I think mid-year, I can't remember exactly. It's a single character start. I don't remember exactly what happened, but the enemy managed to defeat my one and only one character. I began talking through what I should have done better to preserve the save, to not lose. As our character being carried off the map, we notice that the enemy is bleeding while carrying us. The enemy ends up losing enough health to fall over and free us. And so suddenly it's gone from, oh no, the enemy is carrying us away, the game is over, to suddenly the enemy has dropped us. Maybe this playthrough has a chance after all. Bad, but we're good. We have a pistol at least. So he died there by falling over. So anytime a character falls onto the ground, they have a chance of dying. And so he died from that purpose. Ha ha! Ha ha! We have Nutramine for making good medicine someday. If we want, we could take his flak vest. It is tainted. He doesn't want to wear that, but it'd be better than nothing. Gotta get home and... In some measure, that's RimWorld. In some measure, that's what RimWorld is all about. You think things are going well, you think you've got it all figured out, and then your base is burning down. So it was one of these moments that fully captures the spirit of the game and a large portion of what I experienced playing it. It was a moment of gameplay. And as you know, there are many, many moments like that all throughout the year. Many, many moments of shock and surprise at how things have fallen apart. You can think back to the Australia playthrough. That gasp. For many of you, that gasp is the hallmark of the stream. The gasp followed by the crazy, crazy laughter that indicates it's all fallen apart somehow. I didn't want to leave out a bunch of other really good clips. So I decided to go ahead and include a few honorable mentions. This one taken by Snoot TV. Snoot TV, what did you bring to us? Like, yo, you see this TV show? That was a banger, on fire, for sure. Yeet. We try to keep up with the kids. We try to say some words that are good for the children. Always, always, always. What I want to highlight about this one in particular, independently of my saying yeet and so on, is also that the audio on that was not very good. That's because in June or July, we finally discovered how to make our audio better. We tried very, very hard to change how the audio setup worked. And so in the second half of the year, the audio is somewhat better. And that makes me very, very happy. Next up, what's this one? The balder I become, the more I hate this game. I don't recall. The balder I become, the more I hate this game. I believe it's because one of the negative traits between characters in Norland is not just is ugly or is disfigured, but it's because they hate each other for becoming bald. And I felt very much targeted in that moment. Who's this one? I actually didn't mark who that was. I apologize. Oh, there we go. Apathetic Wombat. You submitted that one. Thank you much. All right. Ellisonol, you got another one. What's this one? Achoo. Achoo. So apparently there's a myth about not being able to keep one's eyes open while sneezing or something. And I don't know. Achoo. Achoo. And so I was very proud of myself for being able to keep my eyes open while I was sneezing. Now, was it a real sneeze? Probably not. Next up, honorable mention is... again, return to not the right viewing mode. Yeah, stop, please. Infinite Drex submitted one. This one happened just the other day. just their days when it happened. I decided to include it because it was delightful for a lot of us. This one right here. That's the wrong button there. Please return to the slideshow. Drek, what'd you submit? Is the machine in front of us going to like rip and grab and tear apart the wheat? It will then feed itself into the bucket we're looking at right now. This bucket fills up, and then we can use the gray thing on the left to dump the bucket into a truck. Is that right? I don't know. The tools are all this. Yep. I had so much fun playing the farm sim game. It's such a good time with that one. But any moment where I felt like, I've got it all figured out, any moment where I said, yes, this makes sense to me, was surely on the path to falling apart entirely. Now, I think I realized I actually left out a video I meant to include. Let me see what the next video is. Is this it? Cyber Oracle has one here. What was Cyber Oracle's submission this year? It was... Hello, children. I am Resorty. Never mind. Like I said, part of the year 2024 has been me trying to go with whatever happens to come to mind. Whatever comes to mind, here it is. So one more time. Hello, children. I am Resorty. Never mind. Yep. There you go. We'll see if we have more of that in the future. I'm not so sure. It's all very, very weird. Very, very strange. Okay. I think I left one out. Hello, children. Okay. I did leave one out, unfortunately. I would like to show you one that I left out that I meant to include. I don't know how I didn't upload it correctly, but we're going to go to pausing that for a second. This one summed up a lot. Let's see. Time. Mission failure. We'll get him next time. What am I doing in my life? I'm a perfectly sensible, hard-working, middle-aged man. Some people in my age have become managers of great companies. They've raised many children. They have a big old 401k. They're able to say proudly when people ask them at work, what is it you do? They say, oh, I sell insurance. They say, you know what? When you come to the local Target store, I'm the one who stocks the shelf. What do I say? I say I spend all day repeatedly pushing the same buttons and nothing happens. All right. Yep. I said earlier that it is the case for me. Working Resource is an amazing game. It has complexity and depth unlike any game I've ever played before. And it's true, but occasionally these things fall apart in a big way. It's a once-in-a-lifetime confluence situations. It's true. I mean, I don't know what that moment was, but it was the working out of a tremendous number of feelings that I've been having for a very, very long time. All right, there you go. And friends, it's time for one you probably expected. What is the top clip of the year for 2024? This is one that was mind-blowing and amazing and all the rest. And friends, I give you clip number one. This one was clipped by both Ellisville and Blue Turnip clipped it. I think other people did also, but these were the two that really stood out and got a lot of views. Clip number one of the year. If you don't know who Snoot is, you probably know this. Snoot's another streamer in our community. Snoot had regularly done something that I could not do, And so Snoot in channel reminded me of the thing I could not do, which was successfully get our stream featured on the front page of Twitch, something that Snoot has done often. Here you go. Number one, thank you all still, thank God Blue Turnip, number one clip of the year. As I mentioned, I think yesterday, Snoot, I have applied to be front page many. Are you only rubbing this in? They never respond to any of my... I'm on front page? Wait, right now? No. Wait, my number is very high. I'm on the front page? Did I request the wrong hour? Oh no. Oh no. They didn't send me an email about this. Hello everyone. It's good seeing you. My name is Resorty. Yep. What a really cool moment. Like definitely as you watch it, you can see like the phases of this thing. Number one, I should mention, we were getting ready for an incredibly important moment. Namely, we were going to take over the Hot Potato charity playthrough. It's going to come to our channel in about 4 hours from this moment. So we had 4 hours of like, we're hanging out, we're having a good time, and then we take over the Hot Potato excitement and fun. And let's see here. In this moment, I thought that we were just bantering about this and that. Right? Banter's happening, and it's normal Resorty in intro mode. Now I will say directly, I have to work my way into Resorty every day, right? The character of Resorty is not fully who I am. It's a little bit more outgoing and so on. It's really fun, et cetera. But the opening is in some measure to help me get into stream mode fully. So we're just bantering, hanging out. And then someone who I trust, I don't remember who it was, says directly, Resorty, you're on the front page. And in this moment, something happens in my head that I can't fully express. It's something to do with, oh no, but oh yes. This thing I have wanted to have happen for probably 3 years. I just want to be on the front page is occurring. But I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know that this beautiful thing was there. So I'm not ready for it. Like I have nothing, like, it's the oops screen. It's the I'm just hanging out and talking screen. And here we are with genuinely 3,000 viewers suddenly. 3,000. When you go to twitch.tv, it takes you to resorty.com. And this is now disbelief. This is what is happening. What is going on? Is this my fault somehow? Did I screw something up? Incidentally, you will be getting that face as an emote very soon. This emote will be coming in a few days here, along with a couple other new emotes. Some of you said you like this one very much. We keep on, like, this is, in this moment, what was it? Okay, not quite yet. I'm not sure we're going to get the whole response here. Panic, confusion, new people coming to chat, what's going on? Oh boy. Fortzer mentions how many viewers there are. This was not helpful. I start freaking out, comma man. What am I gonna do? Okay, here we go. Snoot says, hello everyone. I don't know why this helped. Everything before that was, there's craziness happening. Snoot put forward who I normally am. I don't think Snoot meant to do this, but it was something normal I could grab onto. Resorty at this point says hello to people. Resorty greets them and introduces himself in the same way that a raid would happen. And in this moment, I become Resorty. In this moment, I find my way back to who I am on stream. And that was such a good moment. And then over the next 4 hours, we're on the front page, chit-chatting, hanging out, just chatting, engaging with a part of Twitch we're never part of. And it's a really, really fun day. And then we take the hot potato and we together raise $7,800, which is absolutely nutso. And it is a ultimately good clip, a clip that shows me in a lot of emotions, but ultimately ends up in one that was very positive. And on that day, thank you to everyone who came by and just said hi, just said, Resorty, I hope you're doing well, etc., because for a moment there, I was thinking, well, it is time to turn off the stream. We're not prepared for this. We are standing on stage in our underwear. What is happening? But it worked out nicely. I'm going to try very hard to get us on the front page a couple more times this year for interesting content, but we'll talk about that in the future. Okay. Thank you all still on the turn on that one. Why is this playing multiple times? Anyway, the last thing to discuss. Holy cow, Zelion. Thank you for gifting 1 full year. 1 full year. Oh my goodness. Of subscription to Lorenzo Spicio. I don't know why you were chosen among the many, but you got 1 year of subscription thanks to a very generous viewer. Zelion, thank you for that crazy kindness. We better see you, Retro, in the 2026 consideration and engagement. But Zelion, thank you so much for your crazy generosity. Oh, you already know this person. Oh, that makes sense. If there's a connection there, it makes a lot of sense. All right, what's going on in 2025? First of all, here are the games I'm looking forward to. Yesterday, I went ahead and thought very hard about the games I know are coming out, the games that I've heard a bit about and so on. And I'll be curious to see if any of these are any good. Let's see. So Football Manager 2025, we've been told it will come out in March. One of the bigger disappointments of this year is that it didn't come out in 2024. It's about a half year late or so. Usually we're playing Football Manager when this season is just beginning. This time we'll be playing it towards the end of the football season. We're playing as Wrexham. It's going to be a silly fun time. Many of you really enjoy Football Manager streams because they're different and fun, and I enjoy them also. That will be happening sometime in 2025. Or else be very, very sad. Number 2, I'm excited for Radio Commander. This is my favorite demo, my very favorite demo we played in 2024. I'm not sure I'll actually like the full game, but if you didn't see this one, it is a game where you as a player get a map and a radio, and you know that there are troops out in the field that you get to control. And you tell them where to go and what to do. And they tell you what they see and what they're doing and how it's going. And you don't see any of it. You build a map yourself of what you think is happening given the orders that you've given. And it's such an interesting kind of game to play because it is tactics and strategy, but at the same time, you don't have all of the evidence you need to make the best decisions. And that felt scary. That felt weird. It felt uncertain. And I believe they use AI voices for the groups with which you're speaking, but they speak in such like authority and fear. And we're doing our best, but people are, it's a game I'm looking forward to. Yeah, a proper Fog of War. That's exactly right. A proper Fog of War for this game, which I've never seen before. There probably are other games that do it. But I think for me, the thing that's most amazing is that you have to build your own map based on incomplete information. and as a newer player, based on not being quite sure how the game works. And there's a lot more to say. I will play it when it comes out. It'll be amazing. Are we going to Wrexham our way to the Premier League in FM 2025? Probably not. I will be playing Wrexham for sure, but I don't want to do a years and years long playthrough unless we start skipping our way through matches, because if you want to get a team all the way up to the Champions League and so on, it does take weeks and weeks and weeks of that. Radio Commander, you own it, isn't it out? Oh, is it already out? I'm pretty sure the demo's out, but I don't think the actual game is. I might be wrong on that. Friends, an ad break coming. We're going to continue to blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah now for 3.5 hours. What a good time. Ad break coming. You won't miss anything other than me mentioning games I'm looking forward to. But I'm nearly certain Radio Commander Pacific Campaign is not yet out. I'm not sure on that. Okay, after that, Kaiser Punk. This is a game that's been recommended to me over and over again to look for. I forget it, confuse it with the total conversion mod for Hearts of Iron, Kaiser Reich. As always, I don't quite remember what Kaiser Punk is, but I know I want to play it. I remember wanting to play it. I think it's on my wish list, etc. But it looks really cool, and I think they've been promising to release it for maybe a year and a half now, maybe a year now. But it's a game that I think combines maybe City Builder and XCOM or something. We'll see. I don't. It's Hearts of Iron and City Builder. That's it. Hearts of Iron and City Builder should be cool. I'll give it a shot. Now, as we talk through these, I'm trying to keep my expectations low because they might be genuinely terrible. We'll see. Football Tactics and Glory. This is a game I have never heard about until yesterday. I was reading through one of the strategy blogs about games that people are looking forward to for 2025 in the strategy universe. I've read one paragraph. This game is apparently a combination of soccer football and XCOM. Welcome to my expectations never being higher in my entire life. Can you even imagine soccer football with XCOM based stats? XCOM based like chances of getting, I don't even know. I haven't seen gameplay. I haven't looked at the trailers. I'd like to do it tomorrow probably. But from the description alone, holy cow. I'm looking forward to it for sure. Gonna be a great game. Probably not a mainstream game, but anything that says and XCOM I'm willing to check out for sure. It's like Blood Bowl with soccer, maybe so. I haven't played much Blood Bowl at all, but we'll see. At key points you take over player to percentage chance to shoot. Oh, Tarek, is the game out already? Or is the demo out maybe? I haven't seen anything about it, but it should be pretty cool, I think, I hope. We'll see. Okay, second line, Hollywood Animal. This game we'll actually be doing a sponsored stream of in February, I believe. This is a city builder in some sense, in which you make movies. You hire people, you bring together, different movie stars and directors and themes. And it is a very, very strange little game. It feels similar to News Tower, where you put together your own newspapers. Instead, you put together your own cinema shows. And I think it was set in like 1950s, maybe Hollywood, and so it has like a certain vibe of that period that was pretty darn good. I think we played through the full demo and just stopped. Like I said, the producers have reached out to me, or publishers reached out to me and said, "Hey, Resorty, would you stream this one in February?" We definitely will on release and see how it goes. Okay, column 2, Civ 7 is coming out. I want to put a question mark on this one because I've just never been much of a Civ player. It's fine. I like it for what it is, but anytime I play Civ, I say, maybe I should just be playing Paradox game instead. We'll check it out. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how it works for us. But yeah, I'd like to check it out. I'd like to see what's what. There are some disappointments I've heard of, notably that the last space era will not be part of the game at release. They're planning a DLC strategy pretty early, so we'll see, right? We'll see how exactly that goes. We'll play it for a day or two. I expect I'll get a free key on it most likely, and so I don't feel weird spending what's the top value for Civ 7? It isn't like $149 for the like full Founders pack or something. We'll see. Hearing what Potato McWhiskey says, it'll be different than our Civ games. Oh, interesting. In that case, I look forward to seeing how it will be different. We played Civ 5 and enjoyed it, but we'll see. Like I said, it should have a question mark on it as I'm not sure if I'm excited. Now again, these games are just ones I'm excited about in 2025. It's not all the games we'll play, certainly. Also, Espiocracy, however we say that. This is a game we saw hyped back in the Demo Fest or around the Demo Fest. I don't think there's a demo yet. But it's a game like Civ, a stare-at-map game where you don't control the military, but instead you control the spy agencies, and you learn knowledge around the world that you can then give to those who do the work of the military, I think. It's a very different take on what it means to play a 4X kind of game or a grand strategy game. So excited, really looking forward to it. Any game that offers a new take on the stare-at-map, I'm very pleased about. I encourage you to check the Steam page on all these, 'cause I think they're at least worth thinking about. Yeah, very excited there for sure. Menace. Menace is a game I only heard about a couple days ago. I believe the tagline is an XCOM-like game made by the people who made Battle Brothers. Is that right? It's something like that. But anybody who worked on the Battle Brothers game, I love them for making my life meaningful at a period where I had nothing else going on. Battle Brothers ate up so much of my time. And so I'm excited to see what they do with an XCOM-like world. I think this one is not guaranteed to release in 2025, but I'll definitely keep my eyes out for it. Because I'd like this stream to also include more XCOM-like content, but it needs to be played when the game first releases. I think that often there's a lot of appetite and interest for XCOM-like games when the story is fresh, but after a while people find them kind of tedious because they've seen people play that level before. And so the interest in XCOM-like games tends to then only be for people playing at the very highest levels, and that's just not me. Anyone know if, oh shoot, what's it called? The other XCOM-like game we played and enjoyed. We played the first chapter of it, and I was very sad to say goodbye to it. You can like drive a little robot around in front of your people. Not Rogue Waters, no. That's the pirate XCOM game. Xenonauts, thank you, Xenonauts. I don't know if that's coming out in final release in 2025. When it does, though, we'll play it on that day. Xenonauts is one of my favorite streams of, I guess, 2023. It was such a cool game, kind of old school graphics, kind of old school play, but I gotta name characters after you all and take care of them. Something like that. You're hoping that there's a game called PVKK on the list. I have not seen this game, I don't think, Robzilla. Maybe I'll check it out tomorrow, if you don't mind. Capital Command. I don't remember what this game is. I think it's a game where you're gonna control starships in space. It felt kind of like Stellaris, but yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. Maybe I'll look at the video for this tomorrow. I honestly don't recall what exactly, but it's something involving build your own starship, and boy howdy, I'm all about that. Looks good. A Gilded Destiny. Again, I forgot what this one is, but it's one I threw on the end because a lot of people have mentioned it somewhat regularly as being a game coming out fairly soon and looking kind of cool. And you know that. Slivers, I'll see you later, my friend. Another one, we'll check the Steam page on at some point, but looks good. And lastly, is Project Caesar coming out? Whatever this game might be, will Project Caesar be with us soon? It's hard to say. This, of course, is probably EU5. EU is the dark arts of Paradox I don't understand at all, and so we'll probably try when it comes out. We'll probably be very, very bad at it, but man, we've heard so many things from the good people of Paradox about the way in which they're making this game, right? The way in which they're combining the best features of all of their other Paradox games from the past few years. And so unfortunately, my hopes are very, very high on this one. There are some EU4 people who have said they're very disappointed that the game is going to go in a less fully economic way than EU4. There's probably a large population that will stay with EU4 forever. But as a player who enjoys Paradox games, enjoys learning Start Maps games, it should be good. Now, a few of these, will they come out in 2025? Who knows? The last thing, and we'll... One second, I clicked on the wrong window. The last thing on this one is I wonder what else there is. What other games are to come out? I'm not asking right now for suggestions, but please, as always, throughout this next year, if you hear of a game that you think you might like, a game that seems in line with our community, feel free to mention it here or over on the Discord. Because yeah, I don't hear of all the games. I hear some of them, and so often you all are plugged in a way I'm not plugged in. Cool. Last page then. What are my goals for 2025? What are the things I'm going to try to do? You'll recall that I had 2 goals for 2024. One of them was the goal to just show up, right? The goal to be here as often as possible. I achieved that by missing only 10 days that I could have possibly streamed. I mean, 11 days. Those were for vacation, so that feels very good. Also, I had a goal of raiding more often, and we did do that also. There's one goal I didn't quite reach in 2024, and we'll discuss that in a moment here. So, my goals for 2025, more varied post-stream raids. So this year we did a good job of raiding more often, but it is the case that I've raided into the same people consistently. Right, I've raided into the people I know and into very small streamers. And while I love raiding into very small streamers and giving them the excitement, I need to be using my raids a little bit more strategically as a way of making more community connections with other streamers whose streams are kind of like ours. Other strategy streamers of medium size, large size, even possibly in the stream universe or strategy universe. So I want to be thoughtful about how we do raids. And so we do have the wheel of raiding, right, that is set up on, do we do a smaller streamer, a medium streamer, a large streamer, or a streamer that you all suggest. So we'll see how it goes. I want to be more varied, and we'll see what happens with that one. Next up, I need to do a whole bunch of charity incentive streams. There are a whole bunch of things I said I would do if we got X amount of money for charity a while back, and so I will do those over the coming months. My goal is to have them all done by the end of summer, but no certainty on that. Might go a little bit late, but they will get done in 2025. I'm excited for the philosophy stream. I'm terrified for the karaoke stream. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yes, charity incentive streams will get done. Next up, I do want to find ways to incentivize the tier 2 and tier 3 subscriptions on Twitch. Not that I'm like, yum, 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 give me money, though I don't mind it at all. I feel that the people who subscribe at the higher levels should get something of value for doing so. And as of right now, there's basically nothing. There's like, hey, thank you, a little extra. But I want to think about ways to make those more valuable and important for people. Now, I know the vast majority of people will continue subscribing at level 1, and that's fine and cool. There are people who would like to stream at higher levels but can't, whatever, it's fine. But I want to think about what I can do to incentivize and appreciate people at that level. We'll see. I can go babysit your children. Only if you're a tier 5 subscriber will I babysit your children, absolutely. But if you have any ideas of things that you would really like at the higher levels of subscription, or for tips or whatever, let me know. I want to keep this thing largely a money agnostic stream, where I don't give special things to, oh my goodness, Infinite Drek! Infinite Drek stepping up to the tier 3 subscription. I have nothing for you. I have nothing good to give you, my friend. But thank you for your kindness, Drek. It's been great having you in the community this year, and that's really, really kind. I will give you an incentive at some point. What will it be? I do not know. But thank you a bunch for that really generous endorsement of the channel, whatever you want to call it. But thank you. I'll be thinking about it. It's a goal at some point, and see how that goes. Now, again, if you don't subscribe, you're part of the community. If you subscribe at level 1, you're part of the community. It's all awesome, but I want to think about this part of Twitch I've not really used too much. Again, thank you though, Drek. Next up, please make YouTube videos. So this is the part of the 2024 goals I didn't do terribly well. I have so many ideas for YouTube videos to make. Unfortunately, YouTube videos take a while for me to make, and I always have this worry of when I post them, someone's gonna say, this is bad. Now again, one needs to be loyal only to oneself. Someone needs to say, like, I made it, I'm proud of it, that's good enough. But with the amount of time it takes to make these videos, especially like the teaching videos of CK through whatever, if I put them up and they land like a lead balloon, feels bad, man. So this is a goal that I need to achieve in 2025. And so I've promised 5 YouTube videos of a new RimWorld playthrough that will happen in the summer, absolutely. But I do have 3, I think CK3 videos I have partial scripts for. I just need to work my way through them. And yeah, this is me coming out publicly and saying, I am bad. I am bad at making these, though I want to. Making these videos scratches a creative itch that I don't know how else to scratch. It's what I used to scratch by writing articles. So we'll see. Can my PC handle co-stream for Twitch and YouTube? We are currently streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. When I say make YouTube videos, what I mean is make carefully constructed, scripted, narrated videos that tell a story, that give information, and that are not extemporaneous. Now, as far as taking the Twitch VOD, editing out the blah, 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 and putting on the rest on YouTube, yeah, I mean, it is the case that one can edit one's streams to be YouTube videos that are shorter. I just don't have time to do that, and the stream doesn't pull in enough money to make it worth hiring someone to do that. The streams on YouTube, yep, they're there forever. YouTube has an infinite pile of VODs. So yeah, it would be not terrible to take out all the little crossword sections and make a Resorty Plays Crosswords YouTube channel, but it's too much work for too little reward, and I don't find it fulfilling to do that. Where the YouTube videos that are narrated, I find very, very, very fulfilling if I can just sit down and get it done. So there's that. Last thing, this is at some level the easy one, but also the very hard one for me. Just keep showing up, right? Just make sure that 8:30 in the morning or so, I get downstairs, I push that button, and I show up. On the happy days, on the sad days, on the days I forget to take my medication, that happened 3 times this year, oops, just showing up is so important for me. Woody Allen says that half of life is just showing up, and I think that's probably true, but especially for me, it's a matter of, yeah, just for me, it's a matter of doing the work. Because yeah, in past years, in 2022 most recently, I had a terrible, terrible mental health period, and I just stopped showing up. And that was not good for me. I think it took a situation that was bad and made it even worse. So yeah, I'm gonna try to show up every day I say I'm going to this year. I will take vacations again like last year. But we streamed for, 301 days this year, whatever it was. And so I'm going to try to do the same thing in 2025. Hey, Jack, it's good seeing you. Vacation on the Blue Ridge Mountains. Jack, please take a picture. Post on the Discord. I'd love to see where you are. It's good seeing you. And so my one request to you this year is if I keep showing up, you too? You're going to keep showing up? I sure would appreciate if you do so. As I said 1,000 times before, this community is genuinely nothing if it's just me talking to my wall. It's all you that make this thing worth doing. It's all you that makes it a fun time. And so thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for making this fun. And I look forward to doing the same thing in 2025 we've done in 2024. I'll be another year older. There'll be more games. There'll be more fun. And so I want to say sincerely thanks and happy 2025. We're going from the old year of 2024 into the never ever used Resorty Baby emote of 2025. There you go, folks. There is your recap from the year. Anyone who watched on the VOD, I thank you for doing so. I'm glad I did this. It was fun to talk through a lot of memories. That said, when I watched the old clips, there are so many memories forgotten, so many nice experiences with so many of you, and so it's been a really fun time. Because Noms is home, I think today there will not be any gaming. I was planning to end about 1 o'clock today anyway, so today it's just the review. Tomorrow we'll play a brand new playthrough of Warhammer 3, starting as those tricksy French Cavaliers. Should be a great time, and so for now I'm going to say sincerely thank you, sincerely I appreciate you, and let's have a good 2025. And not get ourselves overly excited about any game, because man, they can disappoint you. Don't believe in the devs. Suggestion for 2025 at a top 5 Fritz pictures of the year. I'll try. We gotta work on Fritz pictures. I gotta think throughout the year about which clips are actually good. Oh my goodness! Consequently, get the burrito. I missed the pop. I'm sorry. Tip $10.15. Cote d'Ivory, Ghana, Togo, Benin. Thanks for a great 2024. Here's to learning more African countries. It's true. This year we started the opening games. We learned about lots of countries of the world. We've gotten better at identifying video games. That's been a lot of fun. And yes, we do need more mnemonics for the countries of Africa. From the east of Liberia, it is consequently get the burrito, which is Cote d'Ivory, Ghana, Togo, Benin. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it so much. Ariel, thank you for your kindness, saying I'm genuine. Thank you all for having a great time. Calling it now, Resorty is bringing back the Reddit page. Wait. You're aware of the Reddit page? Wait. So there is indeed a reddit.com/Resorty. The last post was 7 years ago. It's a bunch of VODs that do not exist anymore. I don't know what to do with it. It just sits here. I can delete some stuff and we can start fresh if you want to. You want to start fresh in the new year? I have no idea, team. I made this subreddit back in 2015, back when the stream started, because some viewers said, hey, Resorty, along with the Discord, you should really have a Reddit page. And so I made it, and we do nothing with it. So if you have ideas of what to do with the Resorty page, let me know. Like, I guess I could try to post clips there. I guess I could do something. But if you want to use it for discussing the stream or whatever else, feel free to do so. I do spend time on Reddit each day, reading the news and so on. As you can see down here, oh good God. My recent community I went to, Resorty, League One, Wrexham AFC, livestream fail, and r/bald. r/bald. All right, team. I'll see you again tomorrow for some gaming. Appreciate the heck out of you. Night Watch, thank you for the generous Prime sub. Hope I continue YouTube live stream in 2025. The YouTube is going nowhere. You all are great. You all are appreciated. Oh, what a good time we have. Goodbye, folks. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.